Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ah, there we go. There we go. It needs to be turned up. Can you hear me right now? All right, I'm going to see if I can get this turned up. Should be under filters, I think. Let's see. Gain. There we go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hope this isn't too much gain. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Woo! Thing is peeking out. Yeah, that goes back because I'm monitoring it. I was just making sure it was working. Okay, we're good. Alright, so I'll start that whole little spiel over again. So, alright, welcome back to GPReeds streams. I'm very excited to be doing this again. We are starting out with Luna's series, which I've been trying to do for a very long time. Luna will actually be on as a guest star later today. And we'll also be doing a Donkey Kong stream, Donkey Kong 64, just because that game's crazy. And I want to celebrate Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm really excited about that. So we're going to be streaming that as well this week. Or next week, actually. I don't know. Somewhere in there. We'll stream when we get time. And also, we are going to be streaming Daniel's games. And then we'll be coming back to Luna. Today we're doing the first phase of Luna. We'll be doing the second phase next time. So the reason it looks a little different today is because I did not have... Right? Donkey Kong's awesome! Alright, is the echo back or is it gone now? Anyway, I had to completely redo OBS because about 7 months ago, my computer died. So I had to get a new computer, and I was able to transfer some things, but I was not able to transfer everything. I do not have my streaming stuff. I'll have to either remake it or try to find it in an archive somewhere. As far as overlays go, all of that stuff, I'll have to completely redo all of that, and I would rather just jump back into streaming. It would take a long time to get all that set back up, and I'm really hoping I can just find everything I need. So yeah, we're just going to do a bare bones stream, but at the same time, we just got with an overlay today. I think it'll be fine. And again, I'm really excited about this series. And we'll get to see it in full screen, because when I use my overlay, it kind of shrinks it a little bit. So I may shrink myself just a tad, though. I'm kind of... Yeah, there we go. Kind of a little big there. Yeah, we're basically going back into the testing phase. We're going to try to get everything back for streaming, try to get everything set up and get comfortable with everything again, because I'm doing this is basically a reboot for me as far as streaming goes, so. What I like with Donkey Kong and Gorillas, they're completely different. I mean, one's a video game, one's music. I can't really compare. I like them both. I like Donkey Kong in video games almost as much as I like Gorillas and music. Almost. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm really excited about this series. And again, Luna will be joining us shortly. I'm going to go ahead and jump in while I don't know. I can't wait. I got to get in. Alright, so phase 1. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go through their website a little bit real quick. Alright, so this is Diary of an Archivist Catgirl. That is the series by Luna. And on the front page, welcome to the insides of Luna's mind. Please read this first. This is the new home where Luna's archives and memories are stored. We are still slowly adding content, but please, if you have any questions or perhaps want to speak with us about anything and everything, join us in her mind at the Discord. So I will have the link to, I forgot to put that in the description. I'll have that in the description after the live stream. This is the link to the Discord where you can speak with them. More information on more information on Diary of an Archivist Catgirl. Click here, and this will send you to the NeoCities About page, which we will go ahead and do real quick. Alright, this is going to give us the backstory. We're going to read that before we jump in. I was going to show you some other things on the front page. So you got the updates. You've also got the social media, which I've included in the description if y'all want to follow it live. This is a live event, a live show, and there are code entries. So yes, it is technically an ARG. You unlock pieces with the codes, but it is also a live event roleplay. So, really cool. Also, aside from their diary and their story, they archive other web series. So, really interesting series. We really wanted to look into this for a while. So, we will go ahead and get started with the About page. About Diary of an Archivist Catgirl. Diary of an Archivist Catgirl is about an artificially created cyborg catgirl named Luna, who lives in a world where magic and technology reign supreme. Luna is a walking, talking experiment designed to see how her mind reacts to stimuli, both negative and positive, though mostly negative. It's through these experiments that she learns to harness the power of magical abilities, increase her mana, and gain meaningful relationships. The issue is, an experiment by the Full Moon Syndicate, one of the 2 scientific corporations of Capital City, causes her mind to lock up. She is unable to retain any information or memories past the day, or so at first, and she is instructed by a close friend to archive her daily life into a diary. Luna does this for years on end, gaining little bits of upgrades to her mental power. It's not until the people she meets online, the players, that Luna is able to remember more and more. She soon learns that her mind isn't just hers, but rather a whole database of information all about her own world, including lots of secrets. Unfortunately, these secrets are often locked behind mental locks, which usually require some kind of traumatic memory to be brought up, or to learn a fact connected to them. In a way, to unlock mental locks, she requires a shock to the system, one hard enough to dislodge the locks and help her remember. The gameplay involves talking to the characters, making sense of certain mysteries, and unlocking mental locks to further progress the story. This gets coupled with roleplay that anyone is invited to partake in, which means the players are able to explore the world itself, perhaps finding answers to the things that confuse them, or to fight special boss battles, which often happen with various creatures and or other magical users. It is quite literally a JRPG-inspired magical cyberpunk world, and it's always changing. It's a living world full of characters, mysteries, mythical creatures, magic, and all kinds of different biomes to explore. Thanks for giving my ARG a chance, and I hope you enjoy. If you have any further questions, you can message them on Twitter. All right, so that is the background to the Diary of an Archivist Catgirl. And here is the chapter page. Again, there's a Phase 1, a Phase 2, Phase 3. Phase 3 is ongoing. We're going to be doing Phase 1 today, and we will be coming back to the others. Alright, so Phase 1, Locked Memories of an Archivist Catgirl. There seems to be 30 pieces to this. I don't know how long each one is. I am completely new to this. I followed some of the newer stuff, but as far as the original story goes, I'm going in fresh, so pretty excited. You hear my brother being crazy in the background, you just ignore him. Alright, diary log, April 2nd of 2022. Hey there, Luna and Crystal here. Luna. Hey there, welcome to my blog. My name is Luna, a cyborg cat girl fighting against a bunch of bullcrap out there in Meridian. It's nice to meet you. I'm not really sure what to put here, but here we are, hoping to write more about my archival efforts and my journeys to other worlds. Until next time, this is Luna, over and out. Crystal. Well, hey, Loons, what the heck? Aren't you going to introduce me? Luna. Oh, right. Where are my manners? The other voice is Crystal, my co-pilot. She's really chill and has taught me a lot about using my mind for wacky fun powers. She's my best friend, and I wouldn't be here without her. Kay, which is Crystal. Oh, Loons, you make me blush. Luna. How do you even blush? Crystal. Don't worry about it. Just focus on archiving, please. Luna. As for who Crystal is, she's someone I programmed into my mind, similar to that of an AI or a tulpa. Oh, cool. So we're going to be talking about tulpas. I was actually just researching tulpas recently. Anyway, Crystal taught me how... We'll get into that later. I'm going to talk about stuff I'm going to be doing soon, but we'll talk about that after. Crystal taught me how to convert my mental focus into something like a mana pool, which seems to unlock more powers that I have apparently. I'm not entirely sure how it works. Crystal, can you explain further? I don't feel good. Crystal, oh well. Well, so Luna experienced something life-changing in her early 20s. Not exactly sure what I can tell y'all, but it's forced her to cope and deal with things in a different way. Even I'm not exactly sure what happened either. Luna? Are you okay? Luna. Yeah, something in my mind really hurt and I can't focus. Luna passes out on the spot. Crystal. I'll keep an eye on her. This has been Crystal. Over and out. So these are actually pretty short. We might actually be able to do the second one tonight. We'll see. I'm really excited for Luna to actually get here, though. She should be here momentarily. Hey, Dimitri. How you been? Item log, June 19th, 2022. A chat with her creator. This is an unknown, which I think we actually do find out later who they are, like in the most recent. Alright, so for now, this is a mystery. Hello, Luna. Luna, why are you calling me? I figured I might as well check on you. Tomorrow's a big day. A big day? You mean 34 years after I was created? Glad to see your memory hasn't been affected. You're still our most cherished creation. Yeah, because you killed all the others. No, it's because of you. We've made some progress on learning about other... what do you call them? Worlds? What do you want? It's hard enough just to try to survive a freaking apocalypse without your crap reminding me of the past. I want this collar off of me. It's too tight. No can do, Luna. We're on the verge of greatness. You just keep doing your thing, and everything will be fine, I promise. That's what you said after Jane died. You said she'd be safe. And now years later, here I am with people who actually give a crap about me. Never call me again. I'm done. And that is that chapter. Alright. That's what should not be trusted. July 9th of 2022. Hey, it's Crystal. Normally Luna and I collaborate on these blog spots. But recent events... Okay, quick mode of context real quick. So all of these entries are archived from the blog, from Twitter and other things. That they're all compiled into this archive so it's easier to read. Just so you know what we're reading here. Alright, anyway. Normally Luna and I collaborate on these blog spots. But recent events in Luna's life, and especially from those last night, got me worried. What could happen if some other entity from some other world made contact with her creators? She's genuinely scared about her future and asked me to do this. Simply put, Solaire Enterprises is not someone you want to mess with. One of their main projects from years ago was created to... One of their main projects from years ago was to create the perfect life form. One known as the Luna Project. Unfortunately, playing a god was not their strong suit, as many of their attempts failed miserably. Their first success, however, was my wonderful friend Lune's. As she was the one to survive the rigorous testing, her experimentation was only strengthened. Days of torture, days of psychological breaking, happened nearly every day for the first 24 years of her life. Solaire and other corporations in Capital City attempted to create other Lunas like her, but all other attempts failed. All of these other Lunas they made. Luna treated them like family, like her siblings. Being pushed to watch them all die one by one slowly broke her spirit, and any dream of leaving thereby was crushed. After some time passed, Luna managed to escape captivity. Capital City's what I was thinking. Escape captivity with the help of Jane, someone she loved with all her heart. Jane gave her shelter, food, and ways to finally learn some social skills. Everything Maslow suggests is required for living. Tragedy struck Luna, however, and Jane passed away, leaving her to be alone once more with the knowledge necessary to survive, albeit grief-stricken. In short, Lunes believes Solaire, in their quest to make her life a living hell in the name of science, murdered Jane just to know how their greatest creation reacts to grief and depression. That's what we're dealing with. The mass murder of Luna's siblings and a potential lead on Jane's death. To those who wish to interact with Solaire, we implore you to reconsider. It's highly important to Luna and myself that Solaire does not gain any more traction, especially with other worlds. They're dangerous enough as is. I can see why it's so fun to collaborate with this world. So many little things that make me think to Soulcorp. Including the name. Solaire, based off the goddess. Anyway. This is a little bit longer. Alright, item log. August 21st, 2022. 2 wins under Luna's belt. Alright. Crystal. This log takes place not 10 minutes after Eris, Luna's previous girlfriend and the love of her life, returned to the house after months of being away just to break up with her. Well, dang. Oh, anyway. Eris sacrificed herself to protect Luna from otherwise friend-turned-enemy. While Luna was still deep in shock, a friend of hers named Sparrow had her vent her feelings. And with that, Sparrow suggested, think of it as like pro wrestling. You already have 2 wins under your belt. Of course. I agreed and talked to the other through ITEM. ITEM stands for Internal Transmitter Electronic Messenger. 1 second. I'm actually going to get some background music playing while we're doing this. One second. I'm going to get some that's not copyright. Lo-fi, yes please. Make sure that's turned on. Can you all hear that okay? I didn't want it to be like blaring. I feel like it's still blaring. Turn it down just a tad. Probably right here is okay. I feel like that's okay. It's good. Okay. Was it good before I changed it? Like, how is it right now? Okay, awesome. Back to it. Gosh, I could tell I'm gonna love this story. How have I waited this long to get into this, Luna? You can jump in whenever you want, by the way. I look forward to digging through your head about things, but I'm just the beginning now anyway, so you can wait a little bit if you need to. Okay. Crystal. This log takes place not 10 minutes after Eris. Luna's previous... I already read that part. Okay. We're on the part under that. Luna. So, Crystal. What were you saying back there? Crystal. That... Okay, so I'm going to just do Luna with a normal voice and Crystal with, like, a deeper voice, so... Luna. So, Crystal, what were you saying back there? That perhaps what Sparrow was saying is true. You do have 2 wins under your belt, Looney. Eris still loves you, and I know for a fact that Jane does too. Why do you keep calling me Looney? You know better than anyone else that Jane was the only one who called me that. Why do you keep opening old wounds? Think about it, Looney. Think about all the contradictions. Think crazy. There's only one way this all works, right? Not to mention, how else do you think you got released with Asteria's hypnosis attack? Released from... Who's Wisteria? We missed something here. Not to mention, who else thinks how they get released from Wisteria's hypnosis attack? But that can't be, though. Not to mention, I programmed you, Crystal. Luna feels a sharp pain in her temples, but she shrugs it off, thinking it's just part of her stress. Is there something else I need to be reading first, Luna? I don't know. Did you? You have like...
that happened from TWR.
Whoa. Wait a second. You're coming through the TV.
Oops.
Did my Bluetooth get... No, it's still coming through. 1 second. This is why I don't like using the Discord app.
Testing.
I hear you on the TV. 1 second. That's the problem right there. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. All right.
Very good.
Let's see.
That Wisteria thing was from TWR.
Okay. Let me actually...
I forgot to remove that part. Oops.
Oh, you're good. Let me make sure you're on a separate channel real quick. Alright, go ahead and say something real quick. I just want to make sure you're on there.
Testing 1 2 3.
Okay, I think you're good. Okay. Sounds good. Alright, so what were you saying? So the battle was something that happened previously? You say it was something that was part of another thing that needs to be removed?
A long time ago.
Okay. So this is more like an old memory, basically. Or that battle was.
Yep.
Is there a way that we could go back and look at that at some point? Is that archived as well? Alright, we'll just go ahead and continue. Alrighty, so let's see. Tag. Crystal. There we go. Did you? Crystal says, you have like next to no programming experience, Looney. Not to mention, you would have had to perform major surgery on yourself to get into your transmitter. It's implanted in your brain. Please, just... I promise you. And you know I don't break promises. Just say what's on your mind. There's only one possible answer, even if it's insane. Even if it sounds completely and utterly stupid, just trust me. Luna focuses her thinking on this contradiction. This focus shines a light on something that was previously hidden, information that doesn't make sense to her at first. But that would mean Jane never died. Well, no, I did die, but have you ever wondered why you have that collar on your neck? Why you've never been able to remove it? Why do you think that is? You're smart, Luna. I know you can solve this. Wait, are you freaking telling me that Crystal's been her dead girlfriend this whole time? What? Luna screams out from sheer pain of something inside her unlocking. Memories flow from a previously locked space and return to her long-term memory. Right? Right, Daywalker? It's like, holy crap. Anyway, Luna, because you gave it to me to remind me that you would never leave me, no matter what. A promise that you made long ago. Crystal, correct. I don't break promises, and I know for God's fact you don't either. Look, I can't go into details about why I am here. Blame Solaire and their spying. But just know that even when you're alone, you're always going to have me by your side, Luna. I love you. I will forever love you. You truly are my best friend. Luna, I should have known better. Jane Crystal Solaire, I love you. I love you too, Luna. Mental block broken. Long-term memory capacity increased. I know that was like just like a real quick unlock, like without any build-up, pretty much, but like that gave me chills. Alright, so this is a pretty big one here. This one actually has some of the archive tweets and stuff. This is more what I was remembering. Alright, so let's go. For over a decade now, I've been hounded by Solaire Enterprises to get maintenance done on my systems, even despite me not wanting to be anywhere close to them. In fact, the only issues I've been having are with my memory. I wonder why? In any case, and to my shock, Solaire had finally grown out of the Stone Ages and got themselves onto Twitter. It's rather bare bones, but what do you expect from a massive corporation whose presence can be felt throughout the infinite universe, or infinite multiverse, despite coming from my world? Anyway, after speaking to us in their usual all-caps manner to make it seem like they matter, they sent me a request to come by in probably the kindest manner ever. They even said please. In my 34 years of being alive, I've never once heard them say please. So I lent them an ear. Here's what Solaire Enterprises said. Of course, we keep trying to tell Jan that Project H is a horrible idea, but you know how the coot is. Doesn't listen to anything anyone says. Even so, Luna. Luna may be in danger if she doesn't return. Tell you what. Take her to the location I've just sent you. I'll do it myself. What does that mean? Jan, short for January Solaire, is who created me. As for Project H, I have no idea. Crystal? Me neither, Loons. While you were gone recently, I tried to... Take a break for a second. How complicated is Luna's relationship with Hinata if her previous girlfriend is in her head? Like, that's gotta be extremely complicated. Unless Crystal's kind of become like her Jarvis and kind of like just runs things. Complicated. Yes. Like, are they still like kind of a thing too? Just like one girlfriend on the outside, one on the inside? I don't know how that would work.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Basically, Crystal is like always gonna be within her, but Hinata and Luna are the true relationship.
So it's like the memory of her, but it's also sentient, basically. Like, I'll literally be with you always in your heart. Dang. Alright. Where were we? Yeah. You tried. I appreciate you, Crystal. Anyway, Solaire sent me some coordinates to my transmitter, and as it was in Meridian somehow, we felt it was a trap, but since Solaire has been reading my archives on everything, again, thanks for that, give me a long-term memory back. Sorry, anyway, we still went to the location, though Crystal took over for me. Crystal has a full log of what we found, just look below. This is the adventure log on October 21st of 2022, Maintenance Day. Location tag, Meridian in Apocalypse. In Meridian, Crystal appears looking for a location where the coordinates pointed. After a couple of minutes of searching, she finds a bright yellow tint on one of the sidewalks in size. Toby, what'd I tell you about making things so obvious? Crystal seems exasperated, but it fades on seeing a certain someone come out of the tent. Luna. Hang on a moment. Luna here. I need to introduce who we met out there. Meet Toby Wright, one of the scientists at Solaris Enterprises. Why are you talking to one of him? One of them. Anyway, and as much as I can remember, which isn't much, he was one of the best friends back then. Okay. So he was actually a good scientist. Interesting. I expected all of them to be bad. I don't know why, I just did. But apparently there was some that was working for the bad company wasn't exactly bad. Anyway. And please disregard the fact that it looks like pit crew. Both scientists are bound from posting their own images online. So I made this image. Okay, so this is a representation because they're not allowed to actually have their images online. So we're just going to remember this physique and style. So we got the gray hair that's kind of just below the ears, green eyes, and they wear business suits. And they have like a sharp nose. Remember that for later, just in case it came up again. Anyway, with that out of the way, back to the adventure log. Toby rubs the back of his head sheepishly. But it's yellow. It's not exactly easy to find tints this color in the middle of a freaking apocalypse. Crystal is shocked, tilting her head. You didn't try the Walmart? There's a freaking Walmart in the... You know what? If any company would survive the apocalypse, it'd be freaking Walmart. It'd be Walmart and Waffle House, those two. Anyway, Toby seems confused. The Walmart? Why would I try a big box store in an apocalypse? Right? So I was saying, it's got to be deserted, right? Just trust me next time. I promise you. You'll see something amazing there. Crystal grins, as if baiting Toby to check it out. Oh yeah, what did you need loons? What did you need loons for again? Toby takes a moment or two to remember, but then a light bulb seems to flicker in his head. Oh yeah, please come inside. I want to take a look into Luna's mind. Oh, is that all? Okay. Crystal walks into the tent. I love how Crystal is just basically allowing this person to read Luna's mind. Like, oh yeah, I'm in control right now, so yeah, Luna, just read whatever you want. I don't care about Luna. No, you know, she's not, but yeah, makes me think of that. When Crystal enters the tent, they find themselves in a room oddly much larger than what the tent size outward showed, so it's a TARDIS. Basically, it's like a bag, tent of hold, living, it's complicated. As she explores, a rather large laboratory with other connecting rooms are found with some strange machines and tools scattered about. So, what you think, Crystal? Toby asks, beaming with a bright smile towards Crystal. Crystal chuckles slightly. Not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna walk into a trap, but it seems on the up and up. As Crystal continues to look around, she notes quite a few books and binders as well, some showing off Solaris' logo. And in the corner, a bookshelf containing a seemingly random assortment of Western comics and a couple manga. So, she points to the comics. Toby laughs lightheartedly. Don't worry about it. It's just something I enjoy in my spare time. Anyway, let's get this done before Solaire finds out I'm gone. Wait, so you had time to go out there and read comic books, but you have to get this done before they find out you're there. This dude is lying. Anyway, think of Luna as someone who with two identities inside of her mind. Luna is one of them, and the other one is Crystal. They're able to swap between each other as they please. To tell the difference between the two, simply look at their eye colors. Oh, that's nice. You can tell that way. Purple is Crystal, Luna is blue. Crystal tells Luna exactly... Note there quick. Purple, Crystal, Luna, blue. Okay. Crystal tells Luna exactly what's about to take place and gets her consent. Upon approval, Crystal nods and swaps back to Luna as her eyes meet Toby's dim brown eyes and kind-hearted smile. Wait. Toby's dim brown eyes. Weren't they green? Yeah, they said it's just Pickeroo, so you can't go off that exactly. Alright. Dim brown eyes and kind-hearted smirk. Any fear she felt from the situation is instantly melted as she smiles. Oh yeah, it's been ages since I've seen you, my old friend. She gets up on one of the beds and prepares for maintenance. Please, go right ahead. I trust you. Toby nods and swings around a computer, which seems to be like a portable X-ray machine. He scans Luna first to see if there are any physical discrepancies, other than the fact that data on both of her anthropomorphic cat forms and humanized Catgirl forms pop up, but nothing immediately turns up odd. There aren't any major injuries, thankfully, which causes him to breathe a sigh of relief. Tony then presses a button, which swaps the scan from physical properties to magical and psychological properties for any odd details and discrepancies. Aside from PTSD and depression, he doesn't find anything odd. On the large screen next to Luna, a picture of her can be seen with the following text on it. Alright, so this is Luna. Purple-haired cat girl, blue eyes. in the black schoolgirl uniform. Name, Luna Gray. Age, 34. Height, 69. That's weight, never mind. Weight, 69. Wait, 69 pounds? How is Luna that light? How, 4'6"? Even at 4'6", 69 pounds? She's like anime skinny, like. Dang. Alright. Psychological properties: depression, anxiety, PTSD, magical properties, elemental magic, telekinesis. Memory properties: long-term memory, fragmented. Short-term memory, no issues. Yeah, we gotta get that long-term back. Class: Mage Duelist, Black Mage. Level 48. Transmitter on, working as intended. Diagnosis: Luna Gray is in good physical health. Her physical and mental properties are in good working order. Luna Gray struggles with her psychological properties and may need help coping with her losses. Memory issues are present, but do not pose any immediate harm. Crystal Gray is also working as intended. No immediate issues can be found within Crystal Gray's programming. Huh. I mean, I know they mentioned this before, but the way that they're talking about Crystal, it sounds like she's the leash. And by that, I mean they put Crystal in Luna's mind to monitor her and to hold her back and keep her from doing certain things. Crystal may actually be holding her long-term memory back. She may have to end up removing Crystal to get her long-term memory back, which would be extremely traumatic. Have to say goodbye to her girlfriend again, this time for good, to get her memory back. I feel like I'm onto something. I don't know if I am, but I feel like I'm onto something there. Probably Emerson, yeah. I can see that. Luna reads it over and over and questions. Wait, Crystal Gray? Toby nods and explains. Well, yeah, you chose Gray over Solaire for your last name. Thus Crystal gains your last name too. She's a part of you after all. About that. Back a few months prior, someone called Chartreuse took Luna. So this is actually... Okay, I know when this took place then. This is back when Chartreuse and all of the interconnected worlds thing was going on. No, we won't talk about that today. But yeah, that was the Naomi world before they had to rewrite their own pocket version of the previous universe. Connected story, not part of this though, so we're gonna stay away from that for now. Anyway, so a few months prior, someone called Chartreuse mistook Luna for being whatever a Gray is, and thus they called her Luna Gray as a result. It's a lot better than Luna Solaire, that's for sure. Huh. I wasn't aware of that. Interesting. Is that all, Toby? Asked Luna with a soft smile on her face. Toby smiles brightly. Yep, nice and easy. Nice to see you again, Luna. Luna exhales, seemingly worried about something. So what's your plan? I'm guessing Solaire probably wants you dead right now? Toby doesn't seem worried at all, instead smiling. Nah. They're aware that I would perform your maintenance procedures. They just didn't know that I would come to you instead of having you come to them. Not to mention, all of your research has been helping our home world immensely. Besides, you know what's... Okay, cut it for a second. You know what's kind of crazy about Luna? All these worlds she's visiting, and it seems like she's helping. She's gathering information and actually helping this big, like, bad guy entity in the background at the same time. So it makes you kind of not want to help her, but want to help her at the same time, because she's a good guy, but she's kind of not, too. Not intentionally, but... That's complicated. Anyway. I got some... I probably shouldn't know this as a blogger. Anyway. Not to mention, all the research has been helping our homeworld immensely. Besides, I've never been to another world before. Maybe I'll stay out here and explore a bit. Luna chuckles and gives Toby a big hug. Alright, Toby. Well, don't be a stranger. And if you ever want to come by to where I've been staying, just let me know. You can contact me anytime using item. Toby watches Luna leave and waves goodbye. Okay, take it easy out there, Luna, and be safe. Luna steps out of the tent and disappears, returning to where she was living at the time. So that's the story. If you have any ideas on how to make the adventure logs flow better, please do not hesitate and let either Crystal or myself know via Twitter at ArchiverVales. In any case, I got my maintenance complete. Nothing actually happened though, and I'm still unable to remember much more than a day's worth of data. Yippee! At least we're still here and fighting loons. I guess. Anyway, this has gone on for a bit. This has been Luna and Crystal. Over and out. Her story, October 25th of 2022. It's kind of short as well. Luna, am I onto something though about Crystal having to be deleted for her to get her memory back. Is she blocking it on behalf of Solaire?
Mm.
Is she a plant? No? Okay, good. I was worried there for a second.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Okay, anyway. Oh, hey, I just got thinking about my life, especially the topics of death on the table. And I guess I never really told the story of my origins. Well, I guess of the stuff that I'm allowed to remember. Even thinking about everything just caused me a lot of pain, so let's see here. I was pulled out where I was created around my 21st birthday. I don't exactly remember much about those days, but I lived with Jane. She helped me learn about myself, and I was in love with her. I could never understand romance before her, but with her, I knew she was the one. Fast forward 12 years? About a year ago, I was finally rendered destitute. I barely had a house. I was battered and destroyed as I'd been scrounging for scraps ever since Jane died. She taught me a lot about social life, skills, things my creators never would, but ever since, it's just been hard. The fact that I'm even still alive despite my creator's intentions, it's a miracle. One that I thank many gods above for endlessly, as I pray to them to this day. Anyway, so the house I shared with Jane was in shambles, obviously. I tried to keep it tidy and pretty as she taught me, but finding work where remnants of my past wouldn't stop me. Being a Solaire Enterprises, Luna and thus highly uneducated, was next to impossible. I got lucky with odd jobs, though, so I at least had the ability to keep food on the table here and there. But for the most part, I had nothing more than the laptop with my many years of notes as Jane taught me, and basic shelter in one of the crummiest parts of the city. My home life minus Jane was lonely, but I kept joining various communities online for companionship. They were nice to me, especially since they didn't know an artificially created Catgirl was behind the screen, and I was able to keep my identity secret. Turns out communication like that is useful. Some of these communities were ARG focused as well, which got me really interested in the whole mystery solving aspect, and taught me about various topics. Gave me things to search for and expand my horizons. And it taught me to archive my notes in a way for others to read. But finally in October, I couldn't find any more work. Maybe Solaire got to them and told them to stop, I have no idea. I had a pretty consistent workflow up to this point, and then I was choked out of resources. My memory was failing. I could barely remember anything. Even my short-term memory was screwed up. That's when I found an advertisement online for a war in another world to save the multiverse. I didn't really have a choice in the matter. It was either join, fight, and potentially get killed, or die of starvation. At least this way I can try to fight back. I signed up and jumped on the back of a flying whale, which took me to Meridian and Apocalypse. I met so many cool people, and also Drake is apparently real? Her bite's definitely her, that's for sure. Truly, I feel like that was for the best. I was given a miracle by the many gods above. They gave me a chance to make friends. They gave me an actual living quarters with all the food I could want. And I would never have taken this decision back. I know I was meant to be here. I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry for rambling on, but I really felt like this needed to be out there. And I hope that someday I can have my memories unlocked. And not have to rely on consistent note-taking to remember anything. This is Luna Gray, signing out. Item log, Luna and Toby, November 28th of 2022. Luna, hey Toby, do you got a minute? Toby, for you? I've got all the time. What's up, Luna? So I had a strange experience recently. On a dare from Spider, I tried catnip, and it turned me completely feral. I don't even remember what happened, but I was just about attacking my friends before I was knocked out. Then I tried weed, and instead of causing problems, it gave me a really bad headache and knocked me out. Huh. Mind if I run a scan on you remotely? Yeah, sure, go for it. Toby runs a scan, and after a few minutes pass, he speaks up once more. So, everything is working fine. Don't lie to me. You know I can tell when you're lying. Right. Okay. How do I put this? I'm not exactly the amazing person you think I am. Much like Solaire claims to be the savior of the people. Solaire doesn't deserve your kindness, your love, or even your brain. They call you their greatest creation. But they sure as crap don't treat you like it. And as far as I've considered, when Solaire finally eclipses, we'll have the last laugh. Something has changed, however. Have you noticed over the past few weeks that you've not needed to check your notes nearly as often? Huh. I mean, yeah. I've been able to recall some things. I thought I was created without long-term memory, though. Wrong. You were created, when you were created, most of you was designed like a normal human, but with some electronic parts in. This includes a fully working brain. Your creator installed a block into your brain using the transmitter chip to keep much of your memories locked away. The fact you could recall certain memories at all is incredible. These blocks are called mental locks. It's the players, they've been unlocking the memories. So I can remember everything now? Negative. At your current mental lock level, you should have about a week's memory. Still though, that's so much better than before, when you literally had none. On the bright side, they didn't prepare for this, and that will be their undoing. Their undoing? It's just memory though, right? Think about it. Think about when Jane revealed herself to you. Think about why Solaire would want to lock specifically your memories away. You're the key to this whole mess. You're unique. Can you solve it? Ooh, so Luna is not only the greatest creation, it's the weapon that can take him out. I love that. Lunas were designed to be fodder, right? All the others were mindless. Why am I the only different one? They're a huge company. Wait, hang on. Something about that doesn't feel right. Why me? Unless... that can't be right. Go on, you got this. Say the first thing on your mind. It's because I have memories? I'm the only one. Meaning, there's something I know that will end them? Ah, you saw something. Correct. Your mental locks, these defenses, they're hiding secrets that will spell the end of Solaire. I can guarantee it. You have the answers. You just need to unlock them first. So that's my purpose then. To be an archive. Oh, that's why it's an Archivist Catgirl. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I know it's kind of ironic. The Archivist Catgirl is also an archive of secrets herself, but that's the truth. Your mana is connected directly to these mental locks as well. How do you know about all this anyway? That's something we'll chat about soon. I gotta go before Jan catches me. Okay, see you then. If you ever want to come by, here's where I'm staying. This is getting good. Alright, Dreamlog. Escape from Solaire Enterprises. Luna is found in one of the rooms of an unknown building when loud sirens are blared. Cries of horror and fear are heard alongside the sirens. Two people manage to break into the room Luna is in, but their faces are distorted. They are people Luna love herself, so she's willing to trust them. Luna is picked up by one of the distorted persons as they run out the door, but despite that, it's almost as if time is moving slowly. Or rather, time isn't moving slowly, they are. Despite them running, they're not making much ground. Angry staff is right behind them, chasing and firing their weapons. I hate those dreams. Despite this, hours later, they finally escape. Luna looks up to see their faces, but something is horribly wrong. Their eyes are glowing red. In the distance, something slowly made its way to the three of them. A group of scientists led by a man dressed in all black. His long fingernails and stench of cigarettes are easily noticed by Luna. It seems the cavalry has arrived. She hears the distinct cackle of a certain person in her past. It gets closer and closer, louder and louder, deafening, painful, horribly painful, completely overwhelming her. The two who saved her also begin laughter, a cacophony of horrible noise. The noise swirls around her as if taunting, reminding her of who she is. Despite the pain, it almost feels right. She's comfortable. She's warm, as if wrapped in blankets. She becomes fully obedient. Her eyes glow red. Instructions are fed to her. A very simple set of instructions. And then she wakes up. What are the instructions? Kill somebody? Ah, dang it. I gotta know. When are we gonna find out? Please tell me if they found out by now. Luna?
They found out by now.
Okay, good. I was about to say, is that something we just never get an answer to? Anyway. Adventure log, December 13th of 2022. Trip to Solaire.
No, guys, you get an answer to it.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna find out where I'm at real quick. So I'm in Trip to Solaire. Adventure log, December. Is it about date? It is not. Am I still under the first one? Okay, so it's in July. I am not there yet. Trip to Solaire. Okay, you did the maintenance one.
Yeah, it's the December 13th one.
Does it have the date? I was wanting to see.
Solaire and Meridian.
Okay. Okay. So we are on 8. Just want to keep track there. Okay. Violet lands in the city and looks at a map Crystal sent her a while back, looking a bit confused on where to go. She quickly finds a yellow camping tent set up on one of the sidewalks. It looks rather unassuming, aside from a logo, which looks like a sun with the letters SE on the back, on them in black. Violet walks into the tent and notices Luna sitting on a couch and playing a game on her computer. Luna waves with a smile. Oh, hey Violet, welcome to Toby's lab. So casual. Violet waves back and looks impressed by the amount of books and computers. Hey Luna, how are you doing? I'm alright, just waiting for Toby to be done with whatever he's doing. Luna smiles. Should be out shortly. Please look around as you wish. Violet looks around at the computers and books in the area. The computers are all locked with passwords. The books seem strange. Some are rather large and heavy, with titles suggesting science and electronics. Some have some strange titles in other languages. Even a couple look encrypted. Violet notices the superhero comics, specifically Marvel comics. Some are Fantastic Four, and many of the others are the Avengers. Clearly, Toby has taste. Has a taste. Lastly, she notices 2 books that pique her interest. One is titled Dreams, Exploration into Their Subconscious, and the other is Magic, An Understanding of Magical Abilities. Violet picks up the dream book. As she reads, she learns about dreams Luna's been having, and the author tries to explain why they're happening. It doesn't seem to be very fruitful. An excerpt from the book reads, as 6969, nice, is the only known remaining Luna in existence, it is difficult to say that she is having these dreams. It is a warning for the future, or just a means of torture, or perhaps it is trying to tell her something? And then it just goes into extremely technical information about REM sleep, the subconscious, and how they play a part in memory. Well, with 6969, aside from the joking, that usually means like yin and yang, like good and evil balance. So if it is, she is truly a perfect life form, or supposed to be, 6969 would make sense. And the fact that it's 2 69s tells me it was supposed to be the 2 minds. It's supposed to be Crystal and Luna from the beginning. 2 perfect beings in unison, keeping each other perfect, basically. Then she reads the magic book while waiting for Toby. Magic, an understanding of magical abilities, seems to be a primer from Luna's home veil about how magical abilities work, but in a simpler to understand way. An excerpt from the introductory chapter reads, in my world, a system of various abilities exists. These abilities can either be innate, meaning the user is born with them, like sorcerer, or learned, taught via various methods. A wizard. These abilities have a rather long name back home. It's something like the wizard and the sorcerer thing was something I added, and that's not in there. It's something like autogenous abilities of augmentation, but I find it much easier to call them magical abilities or just magic. Magic can take many forms. These can range from elemental powers to telekinesis, or even to the ability to summon creatures to fight for you, and more. It's honestly impressive how varied magic can get. Most of these capable of performing magic are locked into 2 spells. Some people can have more than 2, but it's extremely rare. Those of certain life paths are barred from performing magic for their entire lifetime. The author of this section does not agree with this, but it is what it is until the Authority of Arcane Affairs, or henceforth called the AAA, decides otherwise. Nobody knows when magical abilities were introduced into our world. Some say they appeared alongside the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. Adventure Time vibes. But rumor has it, a powerful wizard of some kind forced our world to accept magic. Weird. What matters is magic exists now, and the better one is able to coexist with it rather than fight against it. The better our lives will be. Luna looks over at Violet, reading the magical book, and chuckles. I think you should check the author of that book. Violet looks to the author of the book. On the front cover it says, Magic, an Understanding of Magical Abilities by Luna Gray. She seems impressed. Oh wow, I didn't know you wrote a book, that's amazing. Luna smiles. Well, an archivist job is never over. I archive literally everything I can get my paws on. And in this case, I got published in my homeworld. I was even nominated for an award, but some other dude won it instead, so... some legend book? I don't remember. At this point, Toby walks in. He's a rather tall and skinny human, 6'1". He has gray hair and aviator goggles on his head, and wears a yellow plaid suit with a Solaire logo pin on the lapel. He walks over to them with a sincere and warm smile. Oh, hello. Are you Violet? Toby's voice is kind of gruff, but it's almost grandfatherly. Violet nods towards Toby. That would be me. You're Toby, right? He goes to hand Luna a hot chocolate in a thermos. Yeah, that's me. I bitch ding is heard by the pair. Whoops, my cake is done. Be right back. He just makes cake. Yeah, that is grandpa vibes. He just makes you cake and hot chocolate. Sounds like one of those really good grandpas. Luna smiles gleefully. I'm so glad he's here. Missed him a lot. Violet looks to Luna and nods. How long has it been since you've been here? Since you've seen him? Luna thinks out loud. Well, let's see here. I was pulled out of the lab when I was 21. Right. It's still vague. Over in one of the corners, Crystal's voice, which sounds like Luna's, though deeper, I was right about that, though deeper and a bit more artificial, synthesized, is heard from a traditional suit of armor with a ton of various electronics attached to it. Yep, you got it. So it's like, yep, you got it. But not that deep, though. It's like Luna's voice plus deep. Yeah. 13 years later, Luna sighs wistfully. Toby walks back in with a frilly pink apron without a shame in the world. Ah, so the cake's done. Anyone want some? Violet shakes her head. No, that's okay. Don't you need help with the telepathic thingy? Perhaps we should go into the testing room? Luna asks Toby nervously. Toby nods in understanding. Actually, yes. Let's do so. Crystal tells the group, y'all go in first. I need to swap out real quick. Be right. Her voices go silent and the armor goes still. A plainly visible orb of purple light seems to fly out of the armor's electronics and into what seems to be an antenna above the entrance. Toby holds the door open for Luna and Violet to enter. Upon entering, they notice lots of foam, soundproofing tiles, and janky-looking handmade electronics, some that let loose sparks. Toby nervously closes the door and lets out a heavy sigh. So, welcome to our private room, Violet. Violet notices his behavior and asks, you seem nervous. Is something on your mind? Luna goes to sit on one of the comfortable plush chairs in front of a table. The table has a framed photo of a woman standing in front of a field of sunflowers, one that she cannot take her eyes off of. While staring at it, Luna explains, this room exists to get away from Solaire's surveilling eyes and ears. If they had any idea what we're planning, we could be in mortal danger. Toby, can you explain further? Toby nods and says rather bluntly, we're trying to bring down Solaire. Violet seems interested and asks, I see. Well, I'm all ears and here to help. Where do we start? Toby takes a deep breath and begins to speak. So first off, I should explain a bit more about Solaire. Solaire Enterprises is a company steeped in controversy. The Luna Project was originally designed to be an experiment, one designed to see if they could create the perfect life form. Unfortunately, playing the many gods above was not their strong suit, and they failed miserably. All of their attempts failed except for one. That's Luna. Unfortunately, we don't really know about how they created her, or why, aside from screwing around and finding out. At some point, they quit, went silent for years while continuing testing on her. Crystal's voice is heard from the loudspeaker on the wall above the door. And then we got her out of there. Got her to live with me. Trained her to be a normal functioning member of society. Well, as best as we could with our admittedly limited resources. Violet seems excited and asks further. I see. So how do we plan on taking Solaire down? They seem to be pretty powerful company, and they don't seem to be screwing around. Toby takes a deep breath. Right now, our hands are tied. In creating Luna, they implanted a chip in a transmitter, one that constantly transfers the data she learns. We're worried that if she caught on to what we're scheming, they may pull the trigger. In a way, if she learns too much and Solaire catches wind, Luna may be in danger of being killed. Luna nods and says, hence why we're here right now. We have transmitter blocks in place so the information cannot leave, plus soundproofing. So what's our next step? Like baby steps, Violet asks, while looking around in thought. That's exactly it. There really aren't any plans we can make yet. All we can do right now is learn what Solaire's planning and Project H and just keep Luna and Jane safe. Luna is extremely special, Toby explains, looking between the two warm bodies in the room. Violet nods. Got it. I can do my best to protect you guys, and that is what is needed. Toby nods in acceptance. Crystal is silent, the knowledge of the events 7 months prior still weighing in on her soul. It takes a few moments for her to realize just how screwed she is right now, but Luna eventually takes a deep breath and replies, Thank you, Violet. I do have a theory about why Luna's has no memory, Crystal says. Luna looking over at the loudspeaker. Oh, why do you think that is? Violet asks the loudspeaker. Instead of just saying her theory, Crystal instead posits, well, think about it this way. If you have certain sensitive documents on your computer and you didn't want others to find out about them, what do you think you would do, Violet? Luna facepalms, realizing Crystal is pulling the same usual game on Violet. Oh, for goodness sakes, Crystal. Probably hide them deep down? Folder after folder, if I could? Violet reasons. Crystal seems to accept Violet's logic and continues her point. Okay, now think about it this way. Lunes currently has no memory of the past. Almost no long-term memory whatsoever. She is threatened with dying in certain things about overthrowing Solaire's She is threatening with dying if certain things about overthrowing Solaire is leaked. Why do you think this is? Probably because she might have valuable info, Violet continues. Luna goes wide-eyed. Crystal would nod, but herself is currently locked to a loudspeaker, so instead she plays a correct sound effect. I agree. I've seen tiny glimpses into her long-term memory. It's currently locked away by many, many locks, all of which we cannot safely access. I truly believe Lunes has the information required to bring down Solaire. We just need to figure out how to unlock them. You know, I just want to live my life, not... Luna looks completely boggled. Wow. Violet looks to Luna. We got this. Everything is going to be okay. We'll figure this out. Luna takes a deep breath, trying to regain focus, but it doesn't seem to work. Just imagine being told you're potentially the reason Solaire eclipses. It's mind screw-worthy. Just focus, Lunes. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. You're safe and loved, Lunes. Toby and I will protect you. Crystal supports. Toby looks concerned. He puts a hand on Luna's back and helps her to breathe. I didn't want any of this. I just wanted to be normal. Luna groans while catching her breath. Right now, our tasks are threefold. We need to unlock Luna's long-term memory, we need to learn more about Project H, and we need Lunes to survive. I understand that things on your end are getting more and more intense by the minute. Various monsters and worlds coming to attack. If we can handle all three of those, Solaire will fall, Toby explains. This would be a really good anime. Katie, how you doing? Been a long time, how you been? 36 months, good grief. You're so awesome. Let's see. Hey, Scoping Landscape, how are you doing, my friend? And Myra. Alright. Anyway, back to this story. Val puts her hand on Luna's shoulder to try and reassure her. We will take it one step at a time. It's going to be okay, Luna. Luna takes another deep breath, feeling the support from the three of them. Thank you. You're going to be fine, Lunes, Toby reassures. So while we're on topic of brain stuff and Solaire, should we talk about those dreams? Because I'll be honest, that was the first dream I've had since I died. Not exactly the biggest fan. Crystal's voice sounds annoyed. What do you guys think it could be? Violet asks. I'm not sure. I looked into shared dreaming since we last spoke and couldn't find much information, at least in terms of what we three experienced, Toby explains, shaking his head. Nor am I. Not to mention, I got the least information of the dream. Everything instantly went red, unlike what Luna said, says Crystal. Luna adds, and I'll admit, the dream felt familiar. Did it feel familiar to either of you two? Crystal says no, and Toby nods. Somewhat, but certain events were wrong, or rather, were out of order, says Toby. Do you think you guys could piece them together? Maybe in order? Violet suggests. That's the thing, I genuinely don't remember what happened. Just that aside from the distortion, something felt really wrong about the dream. Crystal seems confused. Toby nods. Luna continues. I agree, I can't put a finger on it, but the dream almost contradicted what actually happened that day. But for the life of me, I cannot remember the order it happened in. Nor can I. An electronic sigh can be heard from the loudspeaker. Apologies for being unable to be more forthwith with information, but it's a mystery we're currently trying to solve. Hopefully this will be the last shared dream we'll have. Oh, he's jinxing it. Luna facepalms. And if Crystal weren't in the loudspeaker on the wall, she would facepalm too. Then they change the subject to a more positive one. Toby asks, anyway, would you like to try out my prototype telepathic magic receiver? Ooh, I would love to try that. If I can? May I? Violet asks. Toby nods, and Luna goes to disconnect the wire on the wall. The light signaling Crystal being on the loudspeaker turns off. Ah, much better, Crystal says, feeling right back at home with Luna. Toby hands Violet a small headset with a crescent moon on the label. So all you have to do is put the headset on your ear, and it should enable you to access Luna and Crystal's telepathic channel, and you should be able to communicate back with her as well. Alright, Violet puts it on. Testing, 1, 2, 3, Violet, can you hear me? Violet is now able to hear Crystal, but it is a little loud. It sounds like actual human voice, similar to Luna's, but much more masculine and slightly deeper by comparison. Violet gasps from it working. Yeah, too loud, but very clear. Toby shakes his head and apologizes. Oop, that's my fault. If you feel around the side, there's a little volume slider. Luna sighs. Violet feels around the volume slider as she turns it down a little bit. Testing, 1, 2, 3. The volume is perfect. Not too quiet and not too loud either. Oh, I want to try. Can you hear me too? Violet hears Luna's telepathic voice as well. It's somewhat high-pitched and a tiny bit artificial, kind of like if it were thrown into a voice modulation software. Violet giggles a bit. Yep, all good. Okay, good. So 2 things. One is currently in its prototype state, so it may malfunction a little bit. Nothing dangerous, I promise. And 2, the distance is sort of limited. Currently, it will only work if Luna and you are in the same general area. I'm sure both Luna and Crystal will answer DMs if you need them past that. Luna nods. Toby then explains. Shouldn't need any charging either. I imbued it with a little bit of my electric magic, so it should be fine. Ah, so that's why my phone and laptop don't need charging, Luna asks. Correct. Interesting. Luna yawns a little bit. She looks tired. Violet smiles towards Toby. Well, thank you, Toby. This is amazing. Unless we have anything else, it seems like Luna's gonna hit the hay. Luna nods and looks really tired. Yeah, I should probably get back and take a nap. Purple. Purple? I guess learning about everything today may have overwhelmed and stressed her out. I think it's Crystal. Luna, Violet, and Toby leave the room. Luna hugs Toby and tells him, I'm heading back now. Thanks for everything. Toby seems tired as well. And I have something I need to get done. Crystal sounds like she's grinning. Like some sleep? Yeah, they're gonna have another shared dream. Violet agrees. Yeah, I think you should get some sleep as well. Toby smiles and holds the door open to the outside for Violet. Luna disappears after waving goodbye. Violet walks out the door as she gives a little wave to Toby. Yeah, I'm happy you caught too, Katie. It's good to see you. I'm doing good. I got everything tilled today. Like, you can't tell, but my pants are covered in dirt from where I just tilled and got the garden ready. The babies are almost ready to be planted. Some of them are ready to be planted. I'll be doing that next week. Here, I'll let you see some plants. Yeah. Anyway. Let me fix that purple. Yes. Okay. I'm glad I'm actually hoping you find some stuff. There hasn't been a whole lot, though, so you'll be good. Yeah, I bet you are sleeping. It's freaking 5. Why are you awake watching a stream at 5:30 a.m.? Turn your phone off. Good to see you, though, scoping landscape. My gosh. Go with some sleep. Have you planted any yet, Katie? Sorry, I'll go to the next entry. Well, it's... I've got new internet, so it's really fast. I don't have to wait for it to load. Okay. While I'm waiting for Katie's reply, I'll go ahead and read the next entry. What is this? It's a YouTube video. Oh, cool. Alright, we'll watch that.
It's Rises of the Moon.
In a moment.
Rises the Moon.
Okay. Oh, it's the song. Rises the Moon. Okay, cool. Okay. The moon. It is our peaceful watcher. Is this a Peaceful Watcher reference? Like the show? Your mom says it the green thumbs. Okay. Definitely do. Yeah, I've got a lot of... I've got 60 little saplings ready to plant. The garden is big. It's like a fourth an acre. Anyway. The moon. It is our peaceful watcher. I think it's just talking about the moon being a peaceful watcher. I don't think it's not connected. It is not a piece of watch reference. Okay, thank you, Luna. Okay. All right. Crystal. The following also underneath this it says it can also be corrupted, our most dangerous foe, and it plays The Moon Rises. If y'all want to reference that, it is in the actual post, but I'm not going to do that one just because copyright reasons can actually have your stream shut down now for some reason. YouTube's implemented some new things since I last streamed, and it's pretty dumb. Anyway, Crystal. The following log was posted to Twitter via Luna's account. She did not post it herself, so who could have? That said, this nightmare, something I had despite me being nothing more than a program in Luna's mind, was something I experienced myself. It is from my eyes. It is a memory that I wanted to never experience again. This is the second time I experienced something like this in recent memory. Why do I keep having my past brought up like this? Crystal and Luna are sitting on the couch, watching anime during a full moon. Uh-oh, something's gonna happen. Something always happens on the full moon. Even though everything is peaceful, something doesn't feel right. Does it matter? Solaire is gone. Sued out of existence, right? Luna cannot be harmed by them anymore. She's free, right? Wait, so Solaire actually... What happened? I missed something here. How did Solaire get sued out of existence? Is this in the future, or like an alternate thing? Or did they actually get sued for some reason? I gotcha. This is in the past. Okay, got it. So Solaire has been shut down before. And they went underground, basically, to run tests on Luna's, what it sounds like. Alright. Yeah, they're watching anime. Okay. Even so, Crystal's feeling something, like something's watching. Something sinister is watching them. What could it be? What could be watching her? Watching Luna? Watching them? Crystal has a bad feeling about this. Her defenses skyrocket as she focuses herself on the house as a whole. She knows something isn't right. She thinks it over internally. What is this I'm feeling? Luna? She's quiet. But that's to be expected, right? She's got her favorite show. She's got me. I saved her from Solaire's labs. She should be happy. She's free, right? Without a word, Luna gets up to head towards the hallway. Perhaps she needed to use the restroom. But why is she going to the kitchen? A snack? Inside the living room, a large skylight is found. The full moon, a brilliant orb of light that everyone loves, shines down from the sky. It watches over them like a peaceful guardian. Watches over the pair of lovers. It watches everyone's moves. It's quiet. Serene. Beautiful. Everyone loves the moon, right? The moon is... right. Right? The moon isn't right. Crystal starts to speak out loud, fear washing over her. It's too long. She's taking way too long. Aside from her worry, the entire house is eerily silent. Even the show they are watching together is muted. Crystal's attempts to focus in on Luna's location. Luna never takes this long to return. She's never this quiet. Crystal begins to hyperventilate, and in her panic, she reasons out. Oh, perhaps this is a game? Perhaps Luna is playing hide-and-seek. Luna has been known to be very playful, usually playing impromptu rounds of hide-and-seek, only to surprise Crystal with hugs and kisses. Playing along with her own cope. Crystal gets up and goes to search for Luna. Luna's mind is... hers, right? Despite searching the entire house and outside, Luna is not found. Her search frantic and breathing erratic, Jane does not give up on hope. Despite that, thoughts run through her mind. Something is horribly wrong. Solaire is gone, right? They went defunct after a lawsuit, right? The Luna Project is dead, right? There's no way. They're back, right? The full moon knows. The full moon is right. The full moon watches everything. It knows everything. Once more, she returns to the closet. An all too familiar whispering is heard from her. It's quiet, but for Luna modules, it's enough to drive them insane. It's subtle, but overwhelming. Comfortable, but controlling. Colder than death, but warm as a freshly dried blanket. It forces Luna into a sane insanity, telling them nothing. Sweet nothings. Warm and comfortable nothings. It has one objective. Control. Luna is no longer right. From a crack in the closest door, Crystal sees an all-too-familiar blood-red glow from her eyes. With her unlock phrase in hand, she goes to open the door to attempt to nullify the whispers. This is something only Crystal is capable of, after all. It's too late. With a butcher's knife in her right hand, Luna steps out of the closet and faces her enemy. No words are exchanged between the two, and a quick flash of blue comes from her eyes. Her mind, thoughts, and movements are fully corrupted. The last thing Jane sees is her lover, her beautiful bride-to-be, one she is prepared to be with forever, till death do them part. I don't like how disinterested she is. She's like murdering you with a blank stare. I don't like that. Like she's like just a robot. The humanity's gone. Do not like that. Alright, where are we? Vows. Okay. Vows. Luna appears in Solera Meridian Branch, fully wide-eyed and crying. Toby's finishing up some experiments when he hears it. He rushes out to the waiting room to check on them. Loons, what's wrong? Crystal Soul inhabits the armor in the corner as before. Did you see Twitter? No, what happened? She reads it, and the shock of what is found brings him to the ground. Oh, dear gods. The armor nods, and with some difficulty, it gently places a hand on Luna's back. Loons, we're still together with me. We'll never be apart. Luna is completely out of it, however. She just wants to be a normal girl. I'm a monster. I murdered you. Whoa. I murdered you. Why are you... She breaks down once more. Crystal and Toby back off and give Luna some space, but stay by her side. She's hyperventilating quite a bit. Crystal and Toby remind her how to breathe and guide her in doing so. It seems to work, though slowly. I don't understand. How could this have happened? Asks Toby. So she's the one that murdered her own lover, and then they made her have to live with her mind in her head. Like, was this a form of torture, or were they trying to preserve the mind? Like, what? Why would they? They're the ones that did it, though. There's some way more complicated to that. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. I'm gonna chew on that for a while. Unsure. Seems someone got into our blog and posted it, but what makes less sense is that I had this vision, and then immediately after it was posted. I didn't even post the link myself, Crystal sighs. Luna attempts to suggest maybe it was the full, but Crystal stops her right there. The full moon is a myth. It doesn't exist, Crystal says flatly. But, Luna protests. No, she's right. Toby continues, though silently. The full moon was proven to be false, nothing more than a conspiracy theory. What? Then I generally don't understand. Her tears seem to have dried up. All I know is that I'm the reason she's not physically next to me. I don't know how I can live on. I'm nothing but a monster, a tool. Luna's eyes have not looked up from the ground. Her body is shaking. Crystal sighs and places one of the armor's gloved hands on Luna's back. You are not a monster. You were used by Solera. If anyone is a monster here, it's the bastards who did this. I don't... She pauses. Look, what's done is done. I made a vow to you, Looney. Do you remember what it is? Luna takes a deep breath and tries to find any memories of their vows. Something they made together on Jane's birthday, the year she passed. Luna fights through her mind and looks for a hint of what she could have said. Maybe we'll unlock something? Minutes pass. Nothing. The locks are in the way. With some difficulty, Crystal picks up Luna in the armor's arms and hugs her. Luna continues to trudge through the fragmental swamp that is her memories. Luna suddenly feels a warm sensation when her eyes are closed. A guiding touch. Comfortable. Familiar. Then, as if a bright light is shown where the vows are located, Luna remembers. Somehow, she remembers more of her past. The vows. She screams in pain as another lock is removed from her mind. I remember, she winces. I remember that you vowed to never let me go. They would be soulmates for the rest of my lives. I don't understand what you meant by that. Luna passes out from the pain of the recollection, threatening to fall to the ground. Crystal holds onto Luna while she recovers, playing with her fur and petting her. All things Luna misses heavily from the relationship. Being alone for a decade will do that to anyone. After some time passes, Luna comes to, tears still in her eyes, but it seems she's beginning to understand. Loons, how are you feeling? Crystal asks softly. The voice is a little electronic, as if passing through a synthesizer, but it still sounds like the Jane Crystal Solera she loved. Luna pauses for a moment. I'm not a monster. I was used to murder you, I guess. They didn't see any of this coming. Crystal nods. And this is why I like to be a couple steps ahead of the game. Toby, it's your turn. Explain to Luna what I mean. Right, so you remember the collar Jane gave you when she proposed? The one you were unable to take off? Luna points to it. It's blue and spiky, but seems to be nothing more than a cheap collar from maybe Hot Topic? What about it? Well, Jane came up to me one day at Solaire asking me about wedding gifts. I originally suggested a ring, but you know how Jane is. She loves emo crap. He chuckles. The suit of armor glares at him, but it's lighthearted and playful. Toby coughs out of awkwardness. Anyway, the collar isn't just a gothy piece of jewelry. It serves another purpose entirely. And he looks over to Crystal and nods. Well, I'm guessing she wouldn't like it if I just told you the answer outright. So, Luna? He goes to kneel down in front of her. Knowing what admittedly little you do about Solaire, can you figure out why you've never been able to take the collar off? Think about Jane's presence in your mind. I know you can solve this. And you know what I always say, think crazy. The answer is quite literally in front of you. Toby smiles as she works out the puzzle in her mind. The puzzle was given to her. Luna takes a moment to really think over everything she knows. She knows that the collar is unable to be removed due to a promise Jane made her. She would never leave her side. Wait, never leave her side? Soulmates forever? Is there a connection between the collar and a soul? But that doesn't make sense, right? No. Wait, Solaire. Could Solaire have made a way to make Jane's soul live on? Luna looks to Toby with tears in her eyes. He nods, as if he knows Luna understands. Go on, Luna. What's your answer? There are a couple tears in his eyes as well. Well, I don't understand about what Solaire's about, other than it using me, but something odd strikes me about the collar. Jane's magic, and the fact that, despite dying, she never left my side. She takes a deep breath and declares her answer. Toby smiles. It's Jane's soul in the collar. Toby and Jane give her a round of applause for figuring that out herself, and then Luna feels hugged by two people, both Jane and Toby surrounding her with warm hugs. Correct, Looney. My soul was imprisoned in your collar just in case I were to pass away. I don't exactly live in your mind, but you have easy access to me whenever you want it. I told you. No matter what, we would be together. As lovers, as allies, as friends. I do not know what the worlds of... I don't know what in the worlds have coming for us, but all three of us will face it together. Crystal sounds serious. Luna seems to have cheered up greatly on hearing that. Whoever targeted her with her trauma needs to be stopped. But at least, she's not going after this alone. She's got Jane, she's got Toby, she's got her team, the Kiss, and all of her friends on the other side, and rallying for victory. Luna may be a solitary person, but she's not alone, no matter what. Anyway, ready to head back? The armor goes lifeless as the purple orb of light travels back to Luna's mind. I'm sure the Kiss want you back, Crystal reminds her internally. Luna nods and hugs Toby one more time. There, my friend. We're gonna figure this out together, no matter what, Toby reminds her, smiling. Luna and Crystal disappear with the knowledge gained. Knowledge is power, as they say. Mental lock, the nightmare of Crystal's death broken. Dang. It's messed up. And the fact, I know Jane would want her to be happy with Hinata, but the fact she, basically broke up with her wife and or I don't know, does she have to break up with her wife in her head to be with Hinata? Or are they just, all together? Or is Hinata dating both of them? What is happening? It is so complicated, Luna. It is so complicated. Love it, though. Alright, Christmas. Adventure log, December 24th of 2022. Christmas with Toby. Toby heads out to Luna's place and drops off a box containing a Christmas feast for Luna and her friends, then returns to the lab. Now that it's Christmas, he opens the gift. Inside is a yellow dog plushie. It has a red collar and a tag that says, Hinata for you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is where the yellow dog's introduced. Hinata? Why are you giving me this? Toby focuses his own energy on the lab itself. Something feels off. Wrong. Redacted steps into the room, walking up to Toby. A solar eclipse. A solar eclipse? How wrong you must be. Redacted mutters a few words, and Toby is magically silenced. His lips sealed as if they never existed prior, and the inability to move. The yet unknown person, cloaked in a white cloak, walks around the lab scoffing at the various projects created. It's a pity. I'm sorry to do this, but for the safety of Solaire Enterprises and the Syndicate, I must. For the safety of our people, for the many gods above. They snap their fingers, and Toby disappears without a trace. The white robe-clad person makes themselves at home. A bit of housekeeping, if you will. Truly, 2023 will be the year Solaire Enterprises enters a new dawn. Well, I don't like that. Toby might be getting killed here soon, unfortunately. Alright, now we're on, yep. Adventure log, December 31st of 2022. The enemy steeped in crimson. Luna is in a darkened room, with only a single light dimly glowing above her. There is no bed, no mirrors, or any windows in this small, claustrophobic room. Redacted looks over at Luna with disgust, its distorted face being difficult to discern, though the visage of pure hatred is clear. It reminds her of her many insecurities, her inability to remember things, her small stature, weak body and mind, the fact that she has murdered innocents in cold blood, bathing in their remains. Ew. Luna is nothing more than a tool for her creators and anyone who wishes for a weapon. She is a worthless husk designed solely for destruction. The former shining light of Solaire, the Luna Project, was corrupted into creating machines capable of destruction, one designed to stand in the way of heroes attempting to stop them. Luna's body is outside of the Kiss's house as the full moon watches over the chaos brewing from a single powerful demon. The distorted being forces Luna to hyperventilate and stare at the full moon until everything clicks into place. After a few moments, its plan succeeds. Luna's mind is locked up tight, and she is fully under its control. Anyone within Luna's psyche is thrown out. A blood-red, glass-like material shuts Luna's mind off from any interlopers. Her mind is now in control of the enemy. Crystal is kicked out from Luna's cockpit, and the way in is blocked by a massive force field, much like the kind she puts up during block hypnosis attacks. Crystal attempts to enter by putting in her password and dispelling the magic, but it's locked tight. They have an idea to break through by creating a crystal sledgehammer and striking at the wall, but no matter how much Crystal fights, it's never ending. But she fights on. This is her role in life. Protect Luna from Solaire and all those wishing to harm her and her friends. The entity controlling Luna does everything it can to reinforce the walls and stop Crystal from entering and releasing her, but the walls slowly begin to crumble. Luna is in great pain from everything happening, screaming and snarling. She holds her hand as her claws dig into her skull and blood seeps. Somehow, she disappears and reappears in the background. Her voice is completely different than anyone has ever heard, cold, deep, and robotic. An intense masculine monotone that echoes throughout the yard. Jane Crystal Solaire, what are you doing? Saving my best friend, Crystal exclaims as more of the wall crumbles. She continues to slam the crystalline battle axe into the barrier, knowing this is the difference between Luna's freedom from her shackles and total loss of control that could lead to death. You cannot. Her voice becomes extremely broken and glitchy. Luna panics, forcing herself to hyperventilate, then looks at the moon in order to reinforce her walls, but the clouds block the moon from her vision. Crystal finally makes a hole big enough to enter. The imposter, a glitchy mess of blood-red distortion, disappears. Crystal kneels down and says her secret phrase, a key to unlock Luna's mind and free her from the pain and suffering redacted inflicted on her. Eventually, Luna's eyes are no longer glowing red. Her eyes are now glowing purple. Crystal will protect her love for the rest of the night. Crystal is happy. Her fiancé is protected. But to whoever forces this on her, and any other enemy lurking in their midst, they will be difficult to defeat. Alright. The Rise of Hanada for You. Did somebody give her a replacement lover? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I bet it is. It's got to be an extremely complicated relationship. Inside of the Meridian Walnut. Inside of the walnut. Inside of the walnut. No. Alright, inside of the Meridian Walmart. One known for having literally everything anyone could want. Yeah, Walmart never has anything. It's always out of stock and everything's locked up. Good luck getting a key. Anyway, something has changed. Seems to be a lot happier inside of there despite the rarity of visitors to it. Violet flies down near the Walmart for any signs of a party, looking around. As Violet looks around, she sees the ruins of a huge party in the city. Many booths are still up, but most are trashed and scavenged for resources. It's a mess. That being said, some signs of the advertising for the Solera-promoted Winter Solstice Rave still exist and are intact. Violet grabs onto one of the advertisements, and it reads, "Celebrate Solera's takeover by Lady Hinata." Ooh, she was a weapon. Hinata was a weapon from Solera. The inverse of Luna. Instead of the moon, the sun. Like that. A wild apocalyptic multiversal party in a ruined world. A new dawn is coming. They just went to a ruined universe to have a party. Like, they went to a... Wow. I mean, no one's going to stop you from having a party if the universe is already destroyed. That's messed up. They're freaking crazy. Anyway, there are also some yellow dogs painted on the paper. Violet takes a note as she looks around for anything else. If not, she heads to the Walmart. As Violet turns to the Walmart, she sees some more of the same advertisements leading to the front door. Almost like a breadcrumb trail. Violet walks inside, following the trail. The inside of the Walmart looks like it usually does. Clothing in one section, groceries at the far wing, with various housewares and whatnot. It doesn't seem to be too interesting. That is, until she notices a bunch of arrows on the ground leading somewhere. It's probably to the bathroom in the back, and it's like trash. Violet eyes the arrows, following the next path of breadcrumbs. What in the world? As Violet follows the arrows to the other side of the massive Walmart, something changes alongside the atmosphere. The usually dull and drab store becomes a lot brighter. Happier. The vibes are good. More and more Solera merch can be found on the shelves. I remember this happening. Shirts featuring various logos, drinkware, hell, even some of the food products are all found here. But the road is long. Eventually, Violet reaches a point where the arrows stop. A bright and happy yellow room. Somehow, still inside the Walmart that looks like a toy store. Violet looks around the seemingly toy room, looking at the toys of what they sell. Why toys of all things? There's only one kind of toy here. Yellow dog plushies. All of them have a red collar and a tag. Violet reads the tag to see if anything is on it. Each tag is similar, yet different. All of them say Hinata for you with a different number. For example, one says Hinata for you 1234. Another one Hinata for you 2096, and so on. Violet has an uncanny feeling like she's being watched. Violet looks around, trying to find the source of the watchful eyes. Hello? There's no one there. Violet is the only person in this room. The feeling persists, however. There is a door on the far side of this room. Violet walks over to the door, opening it. As she walks in, she feels hundreds of eyes watching her every step. It's unnerving. One of the plushies falls over as Violet reaches the door. It is locked. Oh my gosh, they're alive, and she's locked in there. This is terrifying. Violet looks quickly over to the plush, examining it around the shelf, the paranoia growing. The plushie is soft, definitely high quality. On the paw, there is a little red heart on it that says, "Press me to hear me talk." Don't do it, Violet. Violet presses the heart. A very soft and gentle voice squeaks out of it saying, "Please take me home with you." Something about the voice, despite the sweetness, feels unnerving. Why? Violet giggles in nervousness of the situation, thinking they will respond as she picks up the plush, walking back to the door, as she tries to bust it down with vines. On launching vines at the door, 3 more plushies fall from their perch, without her pressing the paw again. The plushie she holds simply says, "Save us, Violet," in the same sweet voice. Oh my gosh. It's like a nightmare. The room she busted open appears to be empty, aside from a note on the floor. Violet walks in the room as she picks up the note, shaking a bit with a bit of fear. She reads the note. The note appears to be hastily written on a scrap paper. It's rather messy. But from what Violet can read, it says, "They were right. Playing the many gods above was a mistake. If I survive, I will rectify my mistakes. For my people. For all those I have wronged. For..." And it cuts off. Seems to have been torn off. Violet looks back to the plushie outside the room, stepping back into the toy room, taking the note with her. Save you? What do you mean? Violet looks to see if she can find any unique plushies, or if they're all the same, looking for 0001. The plushie is completely silent. What isn't silent, and actually rather loud, is the room itself. Something's changed, or rather, the lonely, quiet nature of it has. Remember how only one plushie fell at first, then 3? Now the room has hundreds of them on the floor. All of them say the same thing in a loud, united voice. "Please bring me home with you." Oh my gosh. Light whispers can be heard all around, but they don't seem to be coming from the plushies. Violet, oh my gosh. Violet shuts her ears with her hands to try and block out the noise, but still tries to listen to the whispers, trying to find the source of them. The whispers are all around her, surrounding Violet like a warm blanket. Why would you describe it like that? As for... Anyway, that reminds me of the way you described the voices inside the Luna's minds, though. The ones that try to control you. Anyway, as for looking for a unique plushie, they may be extremely difficult because all the plushies on the shelves or on the floor are all saying the same thing in loud, booming yet sweet voices. Panicked, Violet searches for an exit, looking for a way to stop the endless noise, but she realizes the exit's right in front of her. It doesn't seem like the sound is going to stop anytime soon, perhaps a design flaw. The room is very, very small, like the size of a small toy store. A small mall toy store. Violet quickly walks out of the toy section, till she's out of the range of the noises. What in the gosh was that? Whispers do not follow. As Violet walks out of the room and back towards the main Walmart, all the Solaire merch and peripheral aren't found either. In fact, the toy store is no longer in sight. Gone. Disappeared. It's Walmart once more, just as clean and fully stocked as it usually is. Boring, drab. Violet looks curiously back at the Walmart, or back at where it was as she had Diem's Toby, walking around the Walmart while doing so. It's normal. Even the arrows on the floor are gone. Violet heads outside, sitting down on the side of the building as she collects herself and looks back at the collected note, trying to figure it out. Many gods above. Who are you, I wonder? How... That's really terrifying that Solaire can actually penetrate the minds of, like, normal people, too. How did they get into Violet's mind? I understand Luna, because they made her, or, like, built her, or worked on her. But how did they get into the minds of people from other Veils? Because Violet is that Violet from the other Veil. And the Solaire's worked on her before in the past, maybe? That's curious. Don't like that. Alright. This is on... Yeah. Hinata Solaire and the New Dawn. Violet lands in downtown Meridian, looking around for the usual bright yellow tent in the middle of the abandoned road. Shockingly, the tent is no longer found. Near its location is a very tall skyscraper, showcasing Solaire's gaudy logo. There are 2 doors, with big golden door knockers on each. Violet has a look of awe on her face while she walks up to the large, intimidating doors. The doors open rather easily. It appears the knockers are just there for show. Looking inside, it's just as dark as the tent was. A pitch-black void separating the location from the rest of the city. Violet heads inside with her guard up. Inside of Solaire has changed drastically. No longer is it the comfy-looking lounge with multiple doors to various rooms, but instead a boring-looking white room with a receptionist. On the walls, various wall scrolls and Solaire posters can be found. Violet looks at the posters and scrolls, making her way to the receptionist. "Hello?" she says. The receptionist looks up. She's rather pretty, with cherry-red lipstick, thin-rimmed glasses, and blonde hair. Despite her prim and proper appearance, her behavior is anything but that. "Oh, hello, how can I help you?" Between each word, Violet can hear her snap gum. She looks and sounds rather bored. "Well, I'm here to meet with Lady Hinata," she says to come over and look around. Violet explains to her. On hearing Violet is Hinata's guest, her demeanor changes drastically. Instead of looking dreadfully bored, she sits upright and smiles. "Ah, I see. And what is your name?" No more snapping of gum, too. It seems she swallowed it. Violet smiles towards the receptionist. "Violet Naomi, and what may yours be?" The receptionist presses a white button on her desk and says, "Lady Hinata, there is a Violet Naomi here to see you?" A woman with a polite voice replies with, "Ah, thank you, Rebecca. I'll be down momentarily." The receptionist sighs and returns to her previous bored but casual look. "My name's Rebecca. It's nice to meet you." "Well, pleasure to meet you, Rebecca." Violet looks around trying to think of small talk while waiting for Hinata. "So, have you been working here a while?" Rebecca nods. "Been working for Solaire for a few years. Yeah, not gonna lie. When I was told I would be moving to Meridian Branch, I thought I was going to the actual Prime Meridian in Greenwich, England, not something with red skies and zombie things." Crystal, the Meridian Apocalypse incident, also known as the World Reached, took place in a Vale where most of the world was brought to its knees by some kind of apocalyptic threat. Red skies and zombie-like creatures roamed the streets, were extremely common signs in Meridian. Violet laughs a bit. "No, this is the farthest you'll get from Greenwich, England. Just expect a lot of weird and learn to accept it, and you'll be fine." At this moment, Rebecca looks up at Violet and squints a little bit. She pauses, unsure how to word her thoughts. "So you're a deer with wings. You know what? I'm not even going to question it. My apologies. Do you have any questions before I make things awkward? You're fine. To keep it short and simple, I'm an envy demon with bodily modifications from some other company. Is there anything we should expect from Hinata? Wait, is there anything I should expect meeting with Hinata? Violet asks, taking mental notes along the way. Not really. Honestly, I feel bad for her, Rebecca sighs. Why do you say that? Simply put, she wasn't even meant to have this job. This was meant to be for some... At this point, the elevator plays a bell sound, and a fair-skinned woman wearing a bright red and black kimono with brownish hair and a pair of yellow heart sunglasses perched on top of her head walks out of it. She's walking very gracefully up to Violet, with a soft smile on her face. Ah, you must be Violet Naomi. It is a pleasure to meet you in person. Please, come with me. Pause. Luna here. Apologies, but I'd like to show you what Hinata looks like, just like Toby from before. Also, their employees are not allowed to have photos of themselves on their phone. Thus, I created a picture of what she looks like. Honestly, she's really pretty. Alright, so we're going to go down and see that. Bloop. Oh, okay. Probably not green eyes, though. She has the dog, though. She looks like someone I know. Like in real life. I can't say the name. I don't want to dox here, but... Okay. Either that or I'm just amazing at using Picguru. Anyway, back to the logs. Resume. And you must be Hinata. Pleasure is all mine. Violet follows her into an elevator as it closes shut. Hinata presses a button, and they all go quiet a bit. Hinata is dead silent during the trip up, so it's awkward. The elevator bell dings once more as they enter directly into Hinata's office. Hinata's office is a rather large room with various seats scattered around a huge desk. There's definitely an Asian-inspired sun theme to the room. On the various shelves, there are vases with red and yellow flowers and some figurines. It looks really comfortable. A bookshelf can be seen behind the desk, behind Hinata's chair. Please look around if you wish, Miss Violet, Hinata says before returning into the washroom. Why, thank you. Violet looks around at the figurines before making her way to the bookshelf, curious of her reading habits. The figures appear to be all female anime and game characters. There's a Rei and I'm gonna butcher this. There's a Rei Ananami Figma from Neon Genesis Evangelion on one shelf, a 2B figure from Nier Automata on another, and a few others from some more obscure shows and games as well. As Violet walks towards the bookshelf, Hinata walks back in and tries to stop her. Apologies, but that needs to stay private. I rarely have people up there, so I keep forgetting to put some things away. I see. I apologize. I was just interested in the books you have is all. Violet steps away, looking around at what she can, trying to possibly get a glance of the titles of the books and writings. The bookshelf appears to be rather ordinary. Violet can see one very strange outlier to the textbooks. Magic and understanding. There seem to be science and math-related books, though one seems to be a business for dummies. Violet takes a note of the books. So, Hinata, how is being a CEO treating you? Hinata takes a deep breath. It's going well enough. I'm just not used to the job yet, but I'm sure it'll get easier as time passes. She has a very soft demeanor about her. Friendly, too. You might be wondering why I asked you to come by. I am. Of all people, why did you decide to invite me over? I could assume it's not just for small talk? Hinata smiles. Her previously stiff and awkward vibes relax a little bit. Or quite a bit. There are a few things I want to ask you in person. I read in my log... Excuse me. I read in my logs that you had some experience with plushies we're making now. Just wanted to know your thoughts on them. Yeah, the creepy demonic plushies that appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, remove them? Anyway. Oh well, to be honest, they're a bit creepy. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They seemed like they needed help, that they need saving. I just don't know what they meant by that. Hinata raises an eyebrow. That shouldn't be happening. Are you sure not just hearing things? What do you mean that shouldn't be happening? Oh, it looks at Hinata confused. What are they? Hinata takes a deep breath. They're just toys. We mass produce them and sell them to children. Are you certain you heard what you heard? There's a serious tone in her voice. You have a very obvious tell. You should work on that. Violet sounds serious as she looks at Hinata. So why are you lying to me? I'm genuinely not. This is a surprise to me too. I know our scientists were working on something to make the toys a bit more lifelike, but even I'm not sure what it is. Hinata looks sorrowful. Even so, I appreciate you telling me about the Hinata for use. I just wanted to make the multiverse a better place. If you say so. Well then, tell me, who was supposed to be the CEO? I know it wasn't supposed to be you, Violet continues. Well, that was kind of rude. For one, you're correct. I was not supposed to be the CEO. It was in Jan's will that his daughter was to take over the company in case he passed on or his mental state degraded far enough. Do you think I want to be here? I just want it to be normal. Hinata sighs. And two, I'm not sure who the true successor is. It was redacted in the will. I see. Well, if you need anything, I'm here to help. I'll try and make things as normal as I can be. At least, is it anything? Wait. Normal as it can be. At least anything I can do. Thank you, Violet. Did you have any other questions about Solaire? I could try to answer anything you'd like. Hinata is fully relaxed and comfortable. Violet asks, is Toby alright? What exactly happened to him? Toby had to return home to finish some work. I'm sure he'll be back at some point. In fact, he was the one who suggested to bring you here. He thought you were trustworthy. Hinata smiles. Really? Well, thank him for me. Anything you have left to ask me? Violet asks. I will, and me? Nah, I got nothing else. Anything else for me? Hinata shrugs. Not at the moment, but we can keep a pin in that, Violet nods. Alright, well, I must prepare for another appointment, so may I show you out? That would be lovely, thank you. Violet and Hinata ride down the elevator. A black-cloaked male walks in Solaire's castle. He speaks to Rebecca, who goes to press the intercom when Hinata and Violet arrive on the ground floor. Hinata says to the man, Oh, hello. You must be my next appointment. She's back to her usual stiff demeanor, fully removed from any comfort she felt with Violet. The man does not respond and waves dismissively. Apologies, Violet, but I must go now. Have a good day, Hinata says. You have a good day as well. Violet walks out of the castle, trying to get a good look at the man on her way out. The man is rather tall and fit, maybe 6'3". The cloak is closer to a robe on closer examination. On the back of it is what looks to be a moon symbol of some sort. The two of them walk into the elevator, and it closes with a ding. Violet leaves shortly after. That seems fishy. Alright. This one is Assassin. I don't like the sound of that. Hinata has green eyes? Oh, no, Hinata actually does have green eyes? Okay, cool. Okay. Crystal. The following memory log is dark. It contains a piece of Luna's memory, stashed away deep within her mental locks. As such, I must warn those who continue to read it as much. The memory log requires trigger warnings for bloodshed, death, suicide, non-consensual hypnosis, and identity loss. If any of those things bother you in real life, this is me. I will hold all of my fingers up when I'm done reading this. So, if those trigger warnings could bother you, bloodshed, death, suicide, non-consensual hypnosis, and identity loss, mute. Mute now. Okay, now we'll continue. If you are bothered for any of these topics, please do not continue reading. Luna and I could summarize what happened to you if you ask us on Twitter, Tumblr, or Discord. With that out of the way, I must apologize. Had I known what Solaire and the others were doing with the Luna project, I would have pulled her out sooner. It was a terrible mistake, one that could have cost my darling's life. As such, here is Luna's 6th memory lock log. Memory lock 6, Luna's original purpose. The Luna project was waiting in the lab, knowing that someday it would be needed. Redacted knew the heroes, a band of protesters, fighters, and magic users, were on their way to fight back against the rule of the land. Redacted, repeat that. Okay. Luna Project was waiting in the lab, knowing that someday it would be needed. Redacted knew the heroes, a band of protesters, fighters, and magic users were on their way to fight back against the rule of the land. So there was an uprising for the government of magic users. And they used Lunas to fight back against them. Okay. Cool. Redacted ready traps for them to encounter while preparing for the inevitable clash. Its troops, an army of genetically modified and created beings who appeared to be cat-like humanoids, were ready. The Luna Project's true mission was simple: to protect the admin of Redacted from harm, so that they could continue to rule unopposed. Time passes, nothing. No sign of the heroes. The Luna Project continues to wait in anticipation. It's not like they could do anything else, of course. They had no mind of their own, only the will of the admin. The Lunas waited. After some time passes, the admin gets an alert. The heroes have breached the final stronghold. An announcement is made in the telecom system. Redacted, admin, Chandra. Chandra? Is Chandra the name of the admin? Gotta remember that. To all Solaire staff, this is a red alert. Prepare the Lunas for combat. A sound is played, and a certain phrase is uttered, almost instantly. The group of Lunas in the chamber's eyes turn red and glow viciously. They are all led out to the courtyard for a tense standoff and battle with the heroes. The massive army of close to 1,000 specifically trained soldiers walks out grinning and growling dangerously. The heroes are outmatched, but they make the first move. The two sides fight. Blood is spilled, whether it's Hero or Luna. The admin watches with a grin and a laugh, enjoying watching the soldiers fight without their hands getting dirty. Two Lunas in particular, 6969 and 4444, cause exceptional amounts of damage. Just then, an elemental spellcaster launches a massive fireball at the horde of seemingly indestructible Lunas. The fireball wipes out most of them in a single shot, as well as many of the scientists, keeping the Lunas under control at the expense of the caster's life. The only two left standing are 6969 and 4444, as they had been killing others away from the rest of the party. I feel like 4444 is still alive. I feel like that's that one from the recent event. We'll get into that later, but I feel like that one's still alive. Because there's been some weird parties appearing, and I feel like that might be one of them. The two remaining Lunas are not thanked. They may have single-handedly survived the encounter, but they are mere subhumans, mindless weapons. 6969 and 4444 are separated from one another until they are required once more. The two get activated a few more times in the following months, performing murders on behalf of the admin. They are quickly known and feared across the land as Eclipse Blade. Their ninja-like stealth and evasion, as well as creative killing methods, become a favorite tool for Redacted. As the years pass, protests and upheaval attempts become more and more common for Solaire. The night before 6969 and 4444 were to reprise their roles as the two monster army, something changes. 6969 manages to escape. 444 is left to fight alone. May die or get damaged and come back. I don't know. We'll see. Nobody knows what happened to 444 after that. Rumor has it they are still at Solaire in their home vale, just biding their time until they are needed. Lawsuits and legislature against Solaire come out, which dismantled the company brick by brick. That's what happened. That's how they got dismantled. Nobody knows what happened to the other group. Nobody even knows the group's name. Strangely, even though Loons should know their identity, her memories still return them as redacted. Perhaps identity is still locked away deep within the confines of her damaged long-term memory. You may be wondering how this memory got unlocked. Well, Luna has experienced some intense trauma over the past few months, which aligned with these memories, so she basically has to repeat the memories to get them. Got it. She's experienced nightmares of murdering her friends, or you could probably say it to her on Twitter, too, to get the memories. Anyway, her body was recently hypnotically controlled against her will and forced to fight her friends. And lastly, she was drugged and forced to murder someone without her knowledge. As such as have these are assassin traumas. If a trauma is potent enough, or if her memory is jogged hard enough, mental locks will disengage, and the memory behind it will return. I wouldn't wish these memories on anyone else, and especially not my Looney. She had no idea what she was doing, as her mind wasn't hers. As much as I wish to see Solaire fall, I know in my metaphorical heart that Hina had nothing to do with any of this. She is not to blame for Solaire's evils. Luna and I want to protect her from anyone intending harm as well. Alright, hands. It's over. Hands for anybody who had to mute. Okay. Wow, that was intense. This stuff's gonna come back later on. Like, there's gonna be things to this. I wonder what the other group is, though. And I wonder if unlocking memories is done by repeating the trauma. I don't know, because it's a whole different thing, but I wonder if Luna crossed over into the Naomi universe, if something at Soul Corp could jog a memory that maybe hasn't been jogged yet. I don't know how many has been jogged, because this is the first chapter. We're in chapter 3. But as we get there, if there's something similar, we get a hint of maybe what could happen. Maybe we could replicate that at Soul Corp. Interesting. Alright, hypnosis and brainwashing. We are halfway. Alright. Oh, you're good. You're good, Luna. It says, as such, I've called these the assassin traumas. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, Hinata's hypnosis. Uh-oh. That seems bad. There is dirt on my socks. from tilling today. I'm gonna if people that follow me or not follow me, but people on the Discord in the Readers Corner, I'm gonna take a picture of my gardens and I'm gonna send it to you because I'm really proud of them. They're huge. They are awesome. There's 2 of them. There's one for vegetables and stuff, and then there's just a dedicated pepper garden for the 60 varieties. Well, almost 60 varieties I'm growing. I love them. I can't stop looking at them. Anyway. Alright. Hinata's hypnosis. Violet flies into Meridian and enters Solaire to meet up with Hinata again. On entering, she notices the waiting room is about the same. The receptionist has a different dress on, green with yellow flowers. It's super pretty on her. Aside from that, nothing has changed. The waiting room is generic aside from the comfortable-looking seats and some various magazines. A couple potted plants face the windows towards the street of Meridian, and there's a little bit of classical music piped in. Rebecca looks up from her phone and smiles to Violet. How can I help you? Violet smiles back. I am here to see Hinata. The receptionist's behavior has changed a little bit from the last time Violet saw her. No longer are they bored-looking or snapping gum. Rebecca nods and presses a button on her desk. Lady Hinata, you have Miss Violet here to see you? While waiting, Violet strikes up a conversation. So how you been, Rebecca? I've been pretty well. Keeping myself busy. The weather here has been horrible, especially a couple days ago. Since when does blood rain from the sky? You know what? I'm not going to question it, Rebecca sighs. Aside from Lady Hinata having appointments daily, things have been rather calm on our side. We had to hire someone to clean our windows recently. They were stained with blood. At this moment, a bell above the elevator rings and Hinata exits. Why was there blood rain? What the heck's going on? Oh yeah, this is the end of the world place. Yeah, Meridian. Okay. She's back to her usual prim and proper self. Not much has changed about her physically aside from what she's wearing. Though it's just a different kimono. It has cats on it though. So that's neat. She walks out and greets Violet with a smile. Ah, Miss Violet. So very nice to see you once more. Please come in. Violet follows. Have a good day, Rebecca. And they enter the elevator and it goes up. Rebecca nods and returns to her phone. As the elevator arrives, the bell rings once more and the doors open. In front of Violet is the same office from before. Same figurines, though a few were added. There is a telescope pointed towards one of the windows, and the potted plants appear to have been rearranged a little bit. Still comfortable looking. Hinata turns to Violet. Please look around as you wish. I must take care of something. She turns left and goes into another room and locks the door. Violet asks if everything's alright, but she gets no response from Hinata. She tries to listen to whatever's happening in private, but no sounds permeate the otherwise thick wood. While she has time, she goes to investigate the office. Over by the far wall, Violet finds a closet featuring Hinata's clothing, bed sheets, and similar such items. There was no room to hide in. She then walks to the bookshelf behind Hinata's desk and examines it. Most of the books are rather professional-minded. Books about business, famous figures that Violet had never heard of, and science. Some others near the bottom left corner stand out. Western superhero comic books, and among the massive literature, mostly Marvel comics though, a couple DC here and there. She also finds a copy of Magic, an understanding of magical abilities. Flipping to a random page in the book, she reads about the Agency of Arcane Affairs, the governmental body in the world. Arcane. Agency of Arcane Affairs. Magic did take over the world, basically. Governmental body in the world. The main governing body in our world is known as the Agency of Arcane Affairs, which will be henceforth known as the AAA, because it makes us scream in frustration anytime they're brought up. The AAA controls the magic within our world and can change properties of certain spells and abilities at will. Whoa, they can manipulate magic? They're veil weaver, or they're weavers? Weavers of the magic? Wild. Many, I would protest against them too. That's not good to have somebody that powerful controlling you. Many have protested against them, requested more user intervention before changing mana costs and effects, but they don't appear to want change. Most of these changes happen without a warning. A law was passed years ago, dictating the user's connection to certain parties are fully unable to use magical abilities, but it seems walkarounds for this ban are being researched. They're taking away magic too. That's not good. Violet nods in interest as she writes it down in her notes. She walks over to the door Hinata walked through and tries to open it. It's locked. As time passes, very, very silently coming from that door is some kind of sound. It sounds like music? There's a shuffling of feet. The door unlocks. Violet opens it quickly, looking inside. Inside of private chambers is a place for Hinata to get away from drama and relax. She has high-quality headphones on to listen to music and just vibe, alongside comfortable chairs and a bed, plus snacks. Hinata is dancing around and having fun. Remembering her usual prim and proper behavior, now she's back to feeling comfortable. Violet enters and looks around with her head as she waves to Hinata. Hinata waves with her headphones on. Seems she was having some kind of silent solo disco. Oh, hey, hope your tour of my room went well enough. Hinata removes the headphones and has a super bright smile on her face. You doing alright, seems? Glad you're doing better so. Violet nods. Hinata nods. Yeah, sorry about the disappearance on you like that. Wanna head back out to the office? Sure. Violet walks back out to the office. Hinata follows. They step out and Hinata goes to sit on one of the really comfortable looking chairs. So how can I help you, Violet? Violet steps into the office as well. Do you have somewhere I could hide during your meeting? Hinata tilts her head. Hide? What do you intend to do? I intend on spying on your meeting with the lab coat people, Violet responds. Hinata shakes her head. You cannot. Yeah, why would you just think she would accept that, Violet? Like, what the heck? Why not? What, Violet, really? Because, what if you get caught? You heard about the camera. They got perception off the charts somehow. Hinata is looking a little nervous. Besides, I don't want to put any of Luna's friends into danger. You all deal with enough. Violet shakes her head in disagreement. First off, I can just jump out the window if things go south. Really? Second, I can defend myself if they do try to attack. I want to help you, Hinata. Let me help you. Hinata takes a few moments to think it over before she hears a familiar voice from the intercom. Lady Hinata, your evening appointment is here. Should I bring them up? She begins to panic, her hands shaking at the thought of Luna's friend being put in danger because of her. Crap. Let me think. There's nowhere to hide, though. The closet is full of stuff. The chamber is soundproof, but when the door is closed, unless you want to hide behind the desk? Violet crawls under the desk and pushes the chair as far as she can. Violet, you're crazy. The desk has enough room for someone to hide under, but there's no way to see anything while underneath. This can work? Hopefully, Violet. Hinata calls Rebecca back. After a few minutes, the elevator sounds approach the top of the building with a ding. Her behavior returns to the usual prim and proper as the two people enter the office. A male-sounding voice and a female-sounding voice greet Hinata and ask her about various things. Male voice. Hello, what is your name? Hinata? Hinata says, my name is Hinata Solaire. Female voice. What is your age? Hinata, I am 30 years old as of January 1st, 2023. Male. What is your profession? Hinata, I am a CEO and leader of Solaire Enterprises Multivalier. A bell dings. It sounds familiar. Male voice. Good. Now please sit down, get comfortable, and look into my eyes. The male voice is soothing. Extremely soothing. Almost too soothing. To the point where someone listening intently would feel rather sleepy. Hinata looks into the man's eyes as he counts backwards from 10 to 1. Very slowly. On reaching 2, she falls asleep. 1. Hinata slumps in her chair as the female voice says something seemingly in another language. Violet stays as quiet as possible, trying to remember the words of the other language to repeat them last to someone to translate. I should mention the room is dead silent aside from the female voice, so be very, very careful. You wouldn't want to get caught. Violet is able to remember the phrase, but she doesn't know what it means. The female voice finishes speaking, which then follows with another bell ding. They watch over Hinata as she sleeps in a seemingly dreamless sleep. As her eyebrows furrow and release, she seems to be in deep REM. After some time passes, the man speaks up once more. They tell Hinata something in the same language and then count down from 10 to 1 in that same soothing voice. Upon the man reaching 1, Hinata wakes up but stays silent. The two turn around and walk out of the office and into the elevator. The coast is clear, so they're hypnotizing her. They're like speaking to a hidden programmed self within her. That's like MK Ultra stuff. There's like a second mind in her mind and that speaks like Russian or something, and they're leaving it a message. Violet gets out of her hiding spot and looks around and moves towards Hinata, making sure she's okay. Hinata appears to be okay, but looks completely out of it. Her eyes look different, however. They're red and glowing slightly. Violet has her guard up. Hinata? She taps her shoulder a bit to see if she will snap out of whatever trance she's in. Hinata stays out of it. She appears to be sleeping still, but her eyes are open. Her breath is calm, almost snoring a little bit. Violet grabs a piece of paper and writes down that Hinata is under some sort of trance and that she is going to meet Luna. She sticks the paper next to Hinata before walking to the elevator. Hinata stays where she's at. Doesn't appear she'll be up anytime soon. When Violet enters the elevator, there's only one button. Violet takes note of it and presses the button. The elevator closes with another bell's ding and goes down, back to the waiting room. Said ding wakes Hinata up as she looks at the paper. Violet eventually reaches the waiting room and leaves Solaire. She then calls Luna and one of the servers they share and agree to meet up. Luna appears in the city near Solaire's headquarters. Violet walks out of the castle looking around for her. Luna turns around. Oh, hey! She waves to Violet. What's up? Violet walks over to Luna. Alright, I got out of the meeting with Hinata, and I heard something that I need translating. But first, do you have any bells on you? If so, get them as far away as possible. I don't want you to take any risks. Bells? No, I got rid of all my bells when I first met Drake. My collar had one on for the longest time. Luna chuckles. Good. Tell me, if any of you know what any of this means. Violet repeats the phrase she heard in the meeting, unsure if she's pronouncing them right, but is trying her best. The language she speaks doesn't sound like any foreign language anyone's ever heard, not in any culture on Earth. Luna's eyes glow red a little, which causes Crystal to take over, seemingly enraged. Her eyes are now purple and glowing, and a scowl is on her face. Well, where the hell did you hear that? Oh, sorry, I was thinking that's how they are controlling Hinata? The man in the lab coat, I think, and a woman stated this phrase, and then they left Hinata's... And when they left, Hinata's eyes were glowing in red. Controlling Hinata? Crystal goes silent in thought before growling to herself a little. That sure would explain the weird behaviors. Did you by chance get a peek at their lab coat? Anything odd about it? No, I was hiding, but remember from before, if it was the same person... But remembering from before, if it was the same person, I believe it had a crescent moon on it on the back? Upon hearing Violet's report, Crystal looks pissed off. They know what they're doing. They're doing it again. They mutter to themselves, growling a bit. Those people are bad news, Violet. I would recommend watching yourself around them. She pauses and makes sure no one is within earshot, then whispers to Violet. Are the reason Luna's brain is so messed up. I see. I'll be careful then. Sorry if I made you both uncomfortable. Violet exhales. Crystal takes a deep breath, then exhales. It's fine. We appreciate you looking into this for us. I had a feeling something really screwed up was happening with Hinata. Also, if you could, please do not speak that phrase in front of Luna. It's an extremely powerful trigger phrase. One that Luna is unfortunately extremely weak to. Alright, I won't speak it in front of her. I'll probably go take a walk. Please make sure she's okay for me, will you? Crystal nods. Thank you, Violet. You're a good friend to the both of us. They go to sit on the curb. No problem. Just try my best. Violet walks off into the woods to collect her thoughts and take notes. Crystal enters Luna's psyche and speaks to her unlock phrase, which pulls Luna out of the hypnosis. Luna gains a really bad headache from it and does not remember anything that happened. Then, they teleport home. Alright, we are on the trigger. I know, right? Luna's stories are so good. How have I missed this for so long, Katie? So good. Alright, let's finish this up. We are actually really close to being done. I'm doing my best, but, like, I'm reading. I probably don't need that. I probably do not need to read as loud as I'm reading, but my voice is about to go out. Alright, I'm going to read a little bit quieter. I'm going to still read fairly loud, but read a little bit quieter just so I can continue. Because I really want to keep going. I don't want to stop yet. It's too good. Alright. Alias. The dream log requires a trigger warning for dehumanization and non-consensual hypnosis. If those two things bother you, again, we're going to do the hand signals. So when I finish reading this, I'll give you the hand signals if you need to mute. So that way you're not triggered. So I'll give a few seconds to do that, and we will begin. Alright. Dream log from July 27th of 2024. Well, this is more recent. Way more recent. This is like... Did we just skip 2020, most of 2023? Mental lock number 7, the trigger. 6969 is bound to a table with a painfully bright light shining down upon it. Its eyes seem to be forced open, thus not allowing any reprieve from the pain. A man with a very soothing voice speaks to her. What is your name? The man asks. 6969 tries to shake its head, but due to the bindings, it's unable to. Its voice is fully monotone as it responds, I do not have one. I wish my name was... Then it attempts to speak a name. It is unable to. Its voice disappears upon attempting to speak further. No one else in the room seems to be manipulating it. The man seems to nod. Good. Now, I'll be counting back from 10 to 1, and on 1 you shall be transported to a very warm and comfortable place. Understand? 6969 does not respond. It does not have a voice to speak with. It does not have the ability to escape the light. It does not have the ability to nod. Its only ability is to obey. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The man begins to count. The man, whose voice is familiar to 6969, counts backwards very slowly as if to prolong the pain 6969 receives from the light. 6969 drifts off into an odd state of unconsciousness despite its eyes wide open while the man counts back. 3, 2, 1. The man chuckles, and the lights turn off, trading it out for something else. It seems to be a black and white spiral, one that moves at a slow yet consistent speed. 6969 is frozen to its binds, both physically and psychologically. Its breathing is soft. Then a few minutes later, he begins to whisper directly into 6969's ears as bells in a seemingly specific pattern play in the background. 6969. These bells are important. Whenever you hear bells in this pattern, you will be compelled to attack whatever is in front of you. You will do it or suffer the consequences. You do not like pain. You do not like the lights. The lights cause you immense pain. To turn the lights off, to remove the pain, and to feel a warmth, you will attack. You will kill. You will do as I say, or face the consequences. I am speaking to you inside you. 6969's voice returns as its eyes flicker red and it speaks. I will do as I am told. To not do so will cause me pain. To not do so will hurt me. I will not disobey. The man nods. Good. Mental lock activate. The bells continue while the man counts back up from 1 to 10. When he does, the bells immediately stop and 6969 wakes up. Its binds are gone. Its memory of this event is sealed, locked away deep within its subconscious. All the pain associated with everything is gone. It is as if it never happened. The man steps out of the chamber and stares at someone standing in the shadows wearing a black and red suit. He asks the other person, Are you sure we're doing the right thing? It's innocent. It's not done anything wrong to deserve this treatment. I don't like this. The other person smiles widely and shakes their head. Tisk tisk, Crescent. We've been over this. It is what must be done. The raid is upon us soon. We need fighters to protect our livelihoods. 6969 is our best bet. We don't want to go to prison over this, do you? You realize if they win, everything will die. 6969 will die. You will die. Your wife will die. We will all die. You have a daughter at home, don't you? You will do whatever it takes to protect her, right? Realize, if the raid succeeds, your daughter will die as well. Crescent growls at the other person. You dare talk about my daughter? You. Without another word, Crescent throws a punch at the other person. The moment this fist nearly makes contact with the other person's face, he feels bones in his arm break, causing him to scream in pain. What are you? Ugh! So yeah, he's using magic. The other person simply smiles. Manipulating your mana. You didn't think you had a chance to actually harm me, did you? Put your arm down or face the consequences. You do want that arm, don't you? They laugh maniacally as more of Crescent's bones shatter. Crescent snarls in pain and then puts his arms down, nursing his injury. Fine. You'll see someday, Chandra. It's Chandra. That's Its horribly smug aura about you will be your downfall. Mark my words. The Crescent then loses consciousness, again from something Chandra did consider the snap of their fingers. It's something Chandra did considering the snap of their fingers. Yeah. Chandra is extremely powerful. Holy frick. Like, crazy powerful. Alright. Note. Patrice refers to Miss Patrice Colt on Tumblr. Most of this blog post concern the ask she sent to both Miss Luna and Mix Jane. Patrice. Hello. Hope you two are feeling well today? Luna. Hi there. Yeah, we're doing good this morning. Crystal. And yeah, you're right. I'm basically another soul living within Luna's mind. Nice to meet you, Miss Colt. I'm Crystal. Patrice. Thanks, Crystal. How does that work, if you don't mind me asking, of course? Crystal. Oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I was murdered about a decade ago, but with my tech possession magic, I was able to move my soul between electronics. The collar Loons has on includes some electronics, as well as the transmitter in her brain. I'm able to swap between her collar and her transmitter extremely easily. Ah, that's how she does it. Luna, yep. She can also swap to other pieces of technology. If you've played Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, her magic is similar to that of Sissel's Ghost Tricks. Patrice, so Crystal's like Giffany from Gravity Falls then. Crystal, similar, anyway. Minus any yandere vibes. I'm more of an assistant to Loons, helping her cope with things and just being there when she needs someone to talk to. Luna, yeah, Crystal's honestly my best friend in these worlds. Patrice, so how'd you two meet, if you don't mind me asking, of course? Crystal, oh, that's fine. I was a worker over at Solaire for the longest time, and one of my duties was to run tests on the Lunas we had created. For some reason, I was not entirely sure there was a spark between us. It's like the two of us had an instant friendship. We spent the better part of a few years working with each other and hanging out. When I got the idea alongside other coworker to break her out, that fateful day came, and we fought the guards in lab coats to bring her out and help her experience the real world. We actually intended to release other Lunas because there was one more Luna. There's one more Loons really liked spending time with, and the four of us enjoyed ourselves together. But unfortunately, when we hitched the plan, the other one was nowhere to be found. I admit, even 12 years later, I still feel horrible about not bringing 444 out, but yeah, that's how it happened. Luna, wait, you'd planned to bring 444 out too? Crystal, yeah, Loons, you two were the best of friends. It was only natural that we'd at least try, but unfortunately, it was either risk everything for one's life, or the three of us would die. Luna just gets quiet. Patrice, that's quite a story. Hope things are better for you now. I do have a flicker of a guess as to where 444 might have gone. Crystal, unfortunately, I couldn't tell you. Most Lunas have a very little life expectancy due to how they were made. The fact that Loons is still alive after 34 going on 35 years is a godsend. She's probably 1 in a trillion at this point. I don't want to just assume and then make a butt of myself, but most likely the situation is that 444 has passed away, but who knows? Maybe 444 got out and found herself a life of her own, away from Solaire's crap, but I would love to think that at least. Patrice, let's hope that is the case, and we get the 4-leaf clover. I keep seeing you capitalize Luna as such. Does it stand for something? Crystal, it does. Luna stands for Lifelike Ultra Obedient Neko Mini Androids. The A was often replaced with Assassins to be cruel. Choose Assassins like John Wick? Crystal, kind of. Most Lunas were designed to be popcorn fodder for major enemies, but a couple were made to rise up and become major enemies themselves. Luna, yeah, I remember having instructions fed to me, then I would just wake up with blood on my hands. Thinking about 444, I barely remember them. Honestly, had I not unlocked that memory, my entire recollection would have been gone. I don't know why, but I'm feeling a sense of deja vu with all of this. Like, Loons, you can let it out. You got tons of people supporting you. Like, I just have a feeling, kind of like an itch from deep within, that she's still alive somewhere in the worlds. Maybe she did escape from Solaire, like Miss Colt said, that maybe I'm not the only Luna left in the worlds after all. Who is 444? Question marks. Tumblr investigation. Alright. I'm good. My voice is good. That was a lot. Did that sound good? Because I did save my voice on that one. That was a lot better. Yeah, this story is so crazy, isn't it, Katie? Alright. Yeah, it's a pretty big one. Alrighty. So I'm not going to read this too loud. Okay. On Tumblr, I posted an announcement for the next phase, an actual attempt to open my memory up. This is what ensued. Basically, we're going to try and unlock my memory by jolting it. Crystal seems to think that chatting about things in my adventure logs and diary posts might help unlock the remaining mental locks which forbid me from remembering much. Finding contradictions and explaining how things might work could help too if help my brain to process. Crystal's unsure if it's safe, but it's better we try something and fail than try nothing and still fail. I'm willing to put my trust in her. She seems to understand how my stupid fragmented mind works after all. So yeah, if you have anything to ask, send me asks and stuff. Anon. Who is Chandra? Luna. Chandra. I'm not sure exactly. I noticed that name in my memory log. You even got a rendered image of some kind. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Chandra. Hey, Alias, was that in my memory? Alias. The name Chandra appears exactly once in that memory. Strange. Anon, please keep that in mind. Maybe it'll come up again? I have no idea. Anon. What admins do you know? Admins? Crystal. Loons is oddly focused on this one. Luna. I don't remember anything like that, but at the same time, I'll need some time for that. I swear I can break through. The Flower Maiden 13, which is Violet, says, what heroes do you know? Luna. I really don't know of any. I'd like to say that I'm one, but I don't know anyone. I'm not much of anything. What if this whole background story about the Lunas battling, what if that's kind of a lie? And Luna's actually one of the heroes that they kidnapped and then made a Luna after the fact? And that's why she's living longer? And she can remember things because she was actually a hero or actually a human that was turned into this, and not something that was just created. Like she's separate from the other Lunas in that. It'd be crazy. Okay, anyway. Crystal says, here, allow me to take over here real quick. Heroes are less a specific person or persons, and rather more of a protagonist role within our world. They're the kind of person who fights for justice. Role models. They're close to what you'd call superheroes over here, except most can fly or shoot lasers out of their eyes. Heroes are idolized by the common man, and despised by the enemies. Hope that answers your question, Violet. Anon. Opinion on the blood moon. Luna. Lunar eclipses? They're, pretty and, Crystal. Loons? Wait, why is she showing fear from that? Blood moons. I don't like blood moons. Crystal. Loons. You got a group of people who want to help you. I don't know. I can't remember why blood moons stress me out, but... Crystal. So we'll keep that in mind, I guess? Call it evidence for later or something? I don't know. I'm still working out the kinks to the system. I don't think she's going to be available for the rest of the evening. Apologies. I'll try and console her. The next day. So, good morning, y'all. Apologies for yesterday. Thinking about the blood moons got my mind thinking. Unfortunately, I don't think I unlocked anything with it, but might be worthwhile to keep an eye on. But thank you for asking all the questions. I appreciate the help. I might need a little bit of time before I can keep going down this path. I'm sorry. I just got a little scared for some reason, but for the life of me, I don't know why. It's like an odd itch in my psyche, if that makes sense. A dim light, even. Basically, what I'm saying is, while it doesn't specifically unlock anything, I can sort of sense something deep within me connected to them. If you want to keep sending asks, that's fine. I'll answer in due time, but I might be slow. Anon, are you a robot? Luna, I'm like 95% organic, but there are a couple mechanic parts in me, and a transmitter in my brain, and everything else is flesh, bone, and fur. Plus I have a soul too, technically. 3, counting Crystal and Alias. Anon, what was 444 like? I barely remember them. I just remember them being amazing friends. I just remember being amazing friends with her. 444 was the biggest reason I transitioned even, as she called me her big sister despite being a boy. Obviously, we're not family or anything. I don't think Lunas are family with others despite having the same creators. I just remember her smile and her passion for heroes. They were her idols, and honestly, wait, that's right. That's why I wanted to become a hero. And Loons takes a deep breath and focus. I hate the locks. I feel like a knife is scraping against my skull. But it seems like you landed on one of the locks, Anon. Didn't unlock, but it's something. Lilith Docks, if you can tell me, where did the Lunas come from? It made me wonder if they maybe used names of moon phases, or even if things before, like Project Eclipse or something. Luna, I don't know. Wait. Unfortunately, I'm not sure either. All we do know for a fact is, despite being called Solaire, they created androids based off of the moon for some reason. Apologies. Anon, do you know a Solaire eclipse? Luna, that was a term we were used to discuss Solaire's eventual downfall. It never happened. I don't think we can even mount an offense strong enough to take them down. Mrs. Patrick Colt, hope you two are okay after last night. Luna, yeah, I'm okay. I just need to actually focus a bit harder on the questions than usual. Crystal, indeed. Even though many of Luna's mental locks are open, she still needs to try and remember topics. The locks being broken just allow her to access the information. And to answer your question, I am fine, just watching over her. The Flower Maiden. What was the last thing you remember about 444? God, so that would have been 14 years ago. Let me think here. Oh, right. I vaguely remember we were talking about flowers, and that 444 had a specific favorite, but memories past that are coming up empty. I'm sorry. Crystal, green text. Yeah, what does the green text? Does it do something? No. The Flower Maiden 13. Was it a green flower? Do you remember anything about this flower that was specific? Luna, green? No, it couldn't have been. Unfortunately, my memory is still extremely hazy on super specific topics. I just remember that 444 loved it. Crystal, oh wait, I think I see the confusion. Violet, the green text is more for important information. How it differs from red, I'm not sure yet. Apologies. Flower Maiden, what was the first thing you remember with 444? Like, early memories. Luna, unfortunately most of my memories about 444 are extremely hazy. I remember a couple things here and there, like her smile and the color of her hair, and the fact she treated me like a hero even despite my innate purpose to cause destruction. Okay, Crystal, I'm sorry. Meet Alias. Hello, I am Alias. My name stands for Adventure Log Artificial Intelligence System. It is nice to meet you. I hope to be of help in solving Miss Luna Gray's mental logs and processing adventure logs. Also, thank you, Miss Patrice, Colt, for the name. Color codes? Hey, Alias, what are some of the words I said highlighted in green and red? Alias, it is to note topics that appear to make some headway into breaking your mental locks. The colors are for organizational purposes only and nothing more. Green, the topic pertaining to the mystery of Luna 444. Red, the topic pertaining to the mystery of the Blood Moon. Alias, more colors will be added as more topics are found. Please keep these in your minds as you continue to discuss and break through. In a way, the highlighted words are evidence and questions to solve to defeat the mental locks. Also, to those attempting to break through, might I suggest asking other people about various topics? If Luna does not know, then perhaps there is someone else who might. I see. Thank you, Alias. I was programmed for this. You are welcome. Over and out. Flower Maiden. Hey, Hinata. Do you know anything about 444 or the Blood Moon in your world? Hinata. I remember hearing that 444 had fought alongside 6969 as a duo of fearsome assassins, killers for hire. They were legendary for their tactics and speed. Solaire passed them up after they were the sole Luna survivors of the Blood Moon raid on Solaire's headquarters on our homeworld. Rumor has it that 444 and 6969 were lovers at one point, but then things happened and they drifted apart, never to be seen again. So yeah, I hope that furthers your investigation into Luna's mental locks. I'm aware she allows folks online to try and help her with that. Luna, were we that fearsome? I genuinely don't remember any of this, just that often I would fall asleep, and then the next thing I knew, I would be covered in blood and guts. Gods, I remember looking at myself in the mirror after one of those days. I looked nothing like a hero. Luna dates a lot of people. The Flower Maiden. What was the Blood Moon Rain? Hinata for you. It was a major clash between the Solaire of the old days and the heroes that wanted to end them. The era of Solaire that created the Lunas, of whom were terrorizing the world. Wait. Something just crossed my mind before I continue. What if the heroes of old actually did defeat Solaire, and they took over, and they were either worse than Solaire, or Solaire was actually secretly the good guys somehow, and the heroes were the bad guys, and they took over and made Solaire evil? I mean, I doubt that's what actually happened, but wouldn't that be crazy? If the heroes were actually the bad guys, and they turned Solaire evil after the war. Anyway. Where am I at? Yeah. The era of Solaire that created the Lunas, of whom were terrorizing the world. They may have created as mere popcorn pawns. They were vicious, strong, resilient, less popcorn pawns, and more fully fledged horde bosses. I don't know what Jan was thinking creating these. There's the Lunas. Interesting. Anyway, what was the Flower Maiden asks, what is the last thing you heard about 4444? Like their status and where they might be. Luna, I don't know, but I'd like to think they're still alive. She was genuinely my only friend while in captivity. I loved her. I didn't even know what love was, you know? We were all supposed to be together as a happy group of friends, but she was left behind. It's not fair. Why was I allowed to leave? Unfortunately, I genuinely don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're closer to me than I could ever expect. I did remember something about their flower. It was yellow. She loved those flowers because they matched her hair. Obsessed with them, even. I just can't remember what flower it was. Maybe if I knew, I might be able to remember more. Crystal, Violet, can you think of a yellow flower? And then Flower Maiden says, marigold, sunflowers, candulas. Luna, sunflower. Crystal, loons, breathe in, breathe out. I remember she loved sunflowers. It was the same color as her hair. The fact that they would always face towards the sun as if looking forward and outside. It was our dream to escape Solaire. She admired sunflowers and the sun. She believed. Crystal, direct hit. It is not unlocked, but appears to be close. You're almost there, Violet. Now, how do we connect 444 to sunflowers? 444. Why that number? Isn't it unlucky in some places? Interesting. Who is Luna 444? Answer arc. 1 week prior. Okay. Luna Gray and Hinata Solaire agree to meet up together at a coffee shop in Meridian one morning. Hinata enters the place and gets a macchiato as Luna flies into the store on one of her blue and white broomstick. She's in her magical girl form from an Umiko-themed cosplay on. Hinata looks up and applauds her for her stylized entrance. So Luna, it's nice to meet you finally, Hinata says with a smile, holding out her hand. Luna takes the hand and gently shakes it. Likewise, Hinata. Violet told me a lot about you. You sound a lot nicer than most of Solaire's employees. Luna responds while looking at Hinata's beautiful smile. She's immediately captivated by Hinata's... Sounds like Luna's immediately captivated by a lot of people. She's immediately captivated by Hinata's style. Nice kimono, by the way. They giggle lightheartedly. Hinata's wearing a black and yellow sunflower kimono. Why is Hinata so similar to her? Is Hinata 4444? I'm starting to think Hinata is 4444. Interesting. This is not another Roxy ARG. This is Luna's story, by the way. Just because all those different stories collaborated does not mean they're the same people. Remember we talked about this. This is not a Roxy ARG. This is Luna. I've wanted to look into it for a long time. Hey Fox, how you doing, man? Glad you made it. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, FNAF girl. Good to see you. But yeah, anyway, good to see you, Orbulas and Dark Rabbit. I just wanted to clear that up. Anyway, where are we at? Let's see. But yeah, I feel like she is. I feel like Hinata is 444, and it's kind of freaking me out. They giggle lightheartedly. Hinata's wearing a black and yellow sunflower kimono. Her hair is bright yellow, and there's a pair of yellow heart sunglasses perched on her head. Thanks, Luna. Nice cosplay, too. You play Umiko? Yeah, I've been interested in detective fiction for as long as I can remember, so why not combine my passion for mystery with my other passion for visual novels? My favorite from it is Berncastle. She's so devious and evil. Luna talks with a smile. Even so, something about Hinata's look strikes Luna as eerily familiar. She just can't place her finger on why. Oh yeah, I'm a fan of Lam Delta myself. I love her dress. I want to cosplay as her someday. Hinata cheers. They notice Luna is seemingly deep in thought about something. Something up? Oh, no, it's nothing. Luna blushes. Hinata also notices Luna has not had a sip of her hot chocolate. So Hinata, what's it like being the leader? She asks with a sigh. Honestly, Luna, I hate it. I have no experience even working, much less being the leader of a massive, multi-valuer corporation. I'm not even allowed to help. I want to sell plushies and bring Solaire into a whole new market. My new Dawn project. But even that seems to have been corrupted. What am I going to do? If Solaire does something horribly wrong, like they did in the past, I could go to prison for them. It's not fair. Hinata is breathing heavily and is struggling to not cry. Luna notices and carefully places a hand on Hinata's shoulder. Then I guess I'll have to protect you. I refuse to see such lovely people get destroyed by my creators. I promise you this, Hinata. And I don't break those. Hinata is taken aback slightly at first, but instantly feels comfort. Thank you, Luna. What are friends for? We stick close in our darkest days and celebrate our victories together. Luna grins. Luna and Hinata continue to chat about various things. Mostly Umiko and anime-related things. They appear to have solidified a quick friendship. Flower Maiden. So I think I have a theory. You said that her hair was yellow, and that is all that's in your brain that you can connect yellow hair to this person is the Hinata for You plushies. Hinata's name means facing the sun. Sunflower. Hinata is for... That's what I was just thinking. Oh my gosh. Critical hit. They've turned her into the CEO. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Gotta keep going. Luna is sitting on the top bunk of the living room, holding her head and groaning in pain. No amount of painkillers could help quell this migraine. It feels like she's on the verge of a mental lock breakthrough. When Violet presents her theory, Luna grips her head in immense pain, grunting and trying her best not to scream. It's difficult. Horribly difficult. But after a few moments, the pain subsides and she falls from the top bunk to the ground. She is knocked out on impact. I did not know Hinata was a freaking Luna. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be fun. Evil smile. Anyway. Oh. The video thinks that I'm not... Wait a second. Let me resume. Thinks I'm not playing anymore. Okay. It's coming through the TV. Here we go. Wow, I had to just process that for a second. Sorry. Anyway. Luna's sitting on the top bunk of the living room, holding her head and groaning in pain. No amount of painkillers could help quell this migraine. Oh, I already read that. Never mind. Okay. A squid-like woman named Margaret rushes over to her in the living room. Luna, are you okay? What happened? She checks for breathing and a pulse. Luna is breathing and her pulse is fine. It appears that she is sleeping with a smile on her face and tears dripping from her eyes. Margaret backs up and sits back down on the ground. A bit shocked, she fell to the ground, but trusts that she'll be okay. Unbeknownst to Margaret, Luna will be fine. She just felt some sharp, intense pain from a lock in her memories being broken. The resulting shock of memories, rushing back to her memory banks, it really doesn't help. It hurts immensely, but it feels freeing. Hinata for you. Yeah, I'm 444. It's nice to meet you. I was the person that Toby and Jane never rescued. Instead of being able to live my own life, I got stuck another 12 long, brutal years as Solaire's experiment. Even so, I don't have any hard feelings. I recognize that coming back for me would have meant all three of them would have been killed. Just wish things were different. I still love her. Genuinely. And from the bottom of my heart, well, thank goodness it's the first love. At least. That would make things even more complicated. That the girl she got with afterwards is in her head. But now she's with the one she was originally with. Wow, that is... Oh, man, the drama. The love triangle. Anyway. AMA time or whatever. I'm sure y'all got a million questions, such as, do you remember anything? Put simply, yeah, I wasn't given mental locks. I wasn't deemed nearly important enough by Jan. So instead, they gave me this stupid role as their CEO, and will probably cause me to go to prison or something. Yeah, I'm bitter about all this, but my promise to protect Luna from Solaire, and whoever else is in the shadow that wants to harm her, stays regardless. Whatever I can do to help, please. I want to help her be a hero. It's my goal now. And if you're absolutely curious, I am not a Catgirl. For some reason, my design was based on a Shiba Inu. Even despite that, I was still considered a Luna. They made a change to the acronym. Lifelike, ultra-obedient, new humanoid automaton. Imagine being the idiot that had bent over backwards to find a word that started with N. Idiots, I swear. New humanoid. Wow. Flower Maiden. So what happened in those 12 years, Hinata? A lot. I hear my best friend managed to escape with Toby and Jane, and I was genuinely struck. For so many years, I was trapped in Solaire's labs during their lawsuit, unable to leave, unable to even see the sun, or my moon. There was nothing I could do but wait. Read. I was placed in cryogenic sleep, waiting for Solaire to need me again. And then, fast forward to late last year, I was finally allowed to spread the word that Solaire would be following in Luna's footsteps to other worlds. They were fascinated by her journey and wanted to take advantage of it. Gods, I remember the day I got into this world. I went right over to the only salon I could find in town and got my hair dyed as a revenge to the jerks who forced me away from my friends, who forced me to have no life, who forced me away from my moon. Luna, it is really you, isn't it? Hinata, you were obsessed with sunflowers to the point where I'm guessing you changed your name from 444 to something more fitting. I knew it wasn't just deja vu. When I saw your face, your eyes, and especially your smile, I could only see my best friend. I missed you, Hinata. Hinata, one and the same, Lulu. I missed you a lot, too. Want to go grab coffee somewhere and catch up? I would love to know all of the crazy adventures you went on. Luna, as much as I would like to, Hinata, I need some time to process everything. Maybe sometime soon, though. Hinata, fair. Just glad you managed to live this long. You truly are my hero. And Luna started crying. Mixture of 4-4 Luna results. Mental block broken. Crazy. That is so freaking crazy. Right, Hinata's escape. Alright, we're out for escape. 21. I'm gonna take a break for a second, just read the comments. Oh, guess what? So Floxcat, I've kind of come to the same decision a lot of people have come to. And because of all the crappy stuff Nintendo is doing, I want to wait and see if things get better before I go Switch 2. So I'm probably going to wait till like January. I'm going to skip it this summer, I think. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to skip it. I don't know about you. Yeah, my brother is here and he's watching a funny movie, so ignore him, please. Anyway. Hinata's hope for escape. With Solaire's labs, a short purple-haired boy and a tall blonde-haired girl are sitting next to each other and watching anime. A tall lady and a skinny older man, both in lab coats, head inside to speak to them. Hello, 444, 6969. Nice to see you again, the tall woman says. On her badge, the name Jane Crystal Solaire is there. There's Crystal. That's why Jane is Crystal now. It was her middle name. We need to talk to you two, the older man says. On his badge is the name Toby Crescent Wright. Yes? Luna say in unison. It's almost creepy how in sync they are, but they have a slight smile on their faces. Jane takes a deep breath and begins to speak. Well, Toby and I have been talking about it, and we were wondering if you two would like to come home with us? Get away from the confines of this place and learn to live? Like normal? As they watch them speak, they notice the cameras in the room have turned off. It seems like something is jamming the signals. Toby nods with a wide smile. The Lunas tilt their heads. But we're not allowed to leave. We're Lunas. We live here. The blonde girl sighs. The purple-haired one stares at Jane. So, just because you were designed here doesn't mean you have to stay. To the many hells below is Solaire. And besides, you'd be living with me and Toby, Jane says. This catches both Luna's attentions. Wait, really? I get to spend more time with you? 6969 starts stimming a bit in excitement, and his tail wags. It's back when he was a boy. Okay. Wait, I get to live with Toby? Oh my gosh, 444 cheers. Toby and Jane chuckle. If you accept our proposal, you will. Just leave it to us. We'll get you two out of here. They move in to hug and head pat the two Lunas. Toby hugs 444 and Jane pats 6969. It appears things are finally going well for them. Afterwards, 444 pulls out her book on flowers and reads while kicking her legs in the air. 6969 continues watching his shows. The next week, 444 goes to the restroom and is gone for a long time when the alarm blares in the building. Toby and Jane rush into the lab, bloodied up and carrying swords. Toby runs in and picks 6969 up from her seat. Where's 444? We need to go now! And this is the day it happened. Due to the loud sounds activating a failsafe, 6969 is knocked out. 444 is gone. What do we do, Jane? Toby asks in a panic. I don't know. We need to protect 6969 at all costs, for the future of our world. Jane replies, tearing up. A massively fire explosion rips through the lab, and 444 does not appear to be returning. Toby goes to look for her, but it's to no avail. We'll come back for her. She needs to escape too, Jane says somberly. She summons a crystal shield and pushes through the crowd of scientists and engineers toward the exit. A man with the eye patch covering his left eye shakes his head upon seeing the carnage. I see. Reinforce the laboratory. 444, she's mine. We cannot let more evidence leave. Whoever that is got her. That's probably Chandra. Toby and Jane arrive at a house in the middle of Capital City and stay with 6969 for days on end, keeping an eye on the outside for any of Solaire's scientists. Oddly, none chase after them. 6969, or as she slowly learns to change her name to, Luna, is safe. They eventually move into a bigger house together. As for 444, or Hinata, she's left at Solaire and unable to leave, but she is not forgiven. Toby continues to meet up and work with her, but unfortunately, no vulnerabilities in Solaire's lab are found to allow her to escape. I still feel awful for not bringing her home with us, but it was either save one or all four of us would have been killed. Ironic that two of us, Toby and I, are dead now. We learned that pretty recently. A demon from hell seemed to have killed him, but I cannot be for certain. Dang it, Toby died! No, not Toby. Dang, I hate that. Everybody's dying. All that's left is Luna and Hinata. If one of them died, just Ugh, I don't want to be just Luna. Is this what's gonna happen? I don't like this. Okay. Adventure log. Diary of Lost Souls. Once again, Violet goes to Solaire Enterprises and enters the lobby. She notices things are about the same as before. Rebecca is wearing a pretty floral dress and has very light makeup on. She's extremely stylish. She shifts back in her desk, seemingly bored, and watches something on her phone. Violet goes up to Rebecca, greeting her. Hey Rebecca, how are you doing? Check something real quick. 1 second. Okay. Rebecca looks up with a smile. Oh, hello, Miss Violet. Welcome back. On the desk, a place card with her name, Rebecca Sienna Wright, can be seen. Violet nods. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm going to head up to Hinata's office if you don't mind. Rebecca nods and presses the buzzer on her desk. Hey, Hinata, Violet's here. Hinata, send her up. You got it. Thanks, Miss Wright. The usual elevator in the lobby opens up. Have fun out there, Violet. Thank you, Rebecca. Same to you. Violet heads to the elevator, waving as it closes. Rebecca returns to watch YouTube. The elevator rises with no sound whatsoever. As Violet steps out, she can see the office hasn't changed much at all, aside from the amount of figurines increasing. The potted sunflowers still face the window, and there is a telescope near the window. Hinata, who is wearing a casual jacket and jeans, waves to Violet. Oh, hey, Violet. Hey, Hinata. How are you doing this fine evening? Violet says as she walks over to the telescope. I'm well, just taking it easy. Honestly, kind of bored. She notices Violet walking towards the telescope. Do you like astronomy? I dabble into it now and then. It's nice to look at the stars now and then, just kind of take it in, you know? Violet says as she looks through the telescope. The fact that there is an apocalypse and thus most lights are off makes some great sky watching. Violet doesn't really see anything special, but the telescope does seem to point towards the moon. She looks a bit off-put by this. So she repositions the telescope away from the moon. Did some redecorating, I see. Violet asks Hinata. Not really, I just went out and got some figurines. I figured Toby would want me to. Hinata sighs. You holding up alright? Hinata shrugs. I've never really had family before. My entire family are Luna, Toby, and Jane. Toby and Jane are gone from this world, so I'm doing alright in terms of living my best life I can, but I'm lonely. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if you ever need any company, I'm here, and I'm sure the Kiss are willing to help out. Hinata nods and tears up a little bit. Thank you. I want to get in touch with the Kiss. They seem like good people, but I don't know. I'm nervous. I never really fought before, and I'm sure you could tell. Violet shakes her head. But you are a good fighter. But you know what they say. There's always room for improvement. For everyone. I think you should reach out. I think it would help you out a lot. Alias. For reference, Violet and Hinata were paired together in a fighting tournament. They got knocked out of the tournament in the very first match. Although, to be fair, they got paired with Cole and a guy named Oleander, who ended up nearly winning the whole thing if it weren't for the untimely death in the final of the tournament. Hinata nods. I think I will, thank you, Violet. I hope they're able to accept you again as well. Violet looks saddened by the comment. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. Hinata senses the sadness in Violet's language and tries to change the subject. Oh, so, want to watch anime or something together? Get us off the sad topic? Yeah, proceed to watch anime together for a while. After many episodes are finished, Hinata falls asleep on the couch. Violet wraps a blanket on her, then takes this opportunity to continue her investigation. She notices that on Hinata's desk, an untitled thick leather book sits. It appears well loved and worn. She opens it up and reads. Now loading. 1 moment, please. The Diary of Lost Soul. Minute Darkness. The book appears to be a diary of sorts, one kept by Toby Crescent Wright. It's rather large and doesn't seem to have a table of contents. The first page makes its intentions quite clear. To Hinata, I'm sorry we never could return. There's nothing that will ever allow me to forgive myself and Jane for leaving you. Even as I write this years later, I refuse to forget you, Hinata. I always thought of you as a close friend, even a daughter. As reconciliation for my mistakes, I'm leaving this to you, a diary of my past. I'm not exactly the person you think I am. In any case, read if you wish or don't. It's fully up to you. Regards, Admin, Toby Crescent Wright. Violet looks surprised at realizing Toby is an admin all along. And his diary is in her hands. The phrase, "curiosity kills the cat," goes through her mind, but she reads on, choosing one of the later pages. It doesn't seem feasible to read the whole thing before Hinata wakes up. Now loading. One moment, please. July 27th of 2009. I don't understand why Jane is pushing me through like this. It's not like this level of humiliation will ever be worth it in the long run. But she's the queen bee of this relationship, so I guess there's nothing I can do. But why her? Why do I need to do this? Luna is innocent. She does not deserve to have to go through the heartbreak of losing another friend. Maybe she'll be smart enough to understand. Okay, Jane, I'll do it. But for the better of our world, I will do it. Not for my sake. I still love you, Jane, with all of my heart. Just gotta find a new place to live now. Violet flips to a further page. She notices quite a few were ripped out rather messily. It's unclear why. Near to the end of the book, she finds a somewhat recent entry. Now loading. It's her birthday once more. I've been trying to contact her for regular maintenance so we could have a chat in private. I'm unable to speak my mind most of the time about her physiology. But I always feel as though I am safer around Luna. Just the aura she gives off. I don't understand why. She was designed to be the savior of our world, even despite their intentions. You know what? No. In case she ever finds this diary, I am not the admin of Solaire. Solaire is nothing more than the public face for the real creators. Her real creators. Hinata, Luna, if you ever find this, I have been keeping something from you. Something that may change the way you look at Jane and I forever. I can only hint at what it is, however. Otherwise, I may perish. Look to Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, and Ant-Man. Okay. What is that supposed to mean? Thor's the god of thunder, has a weapon. Iron Man has a suit that gives him power. Hulk has radiation that makes him strong. And then Ant-Man has a suit that makes him small. Hinata appears to be tossing and turning. This is why Hinata is always looking into superheroes and stuff. Try to figure out what's going on. Hinata appears to be tossing and turning in her sleep. Judging from the fact that she's swiping at the air, she seems to be experiencing a bad dream. Violet takes note of that as she closes the book and walks over to Hinata, sitting down as she pats her head, hoping to help her calm down in her nightmare. It's okay, Hinata. I'm here, Violet says in a calm, soothing voice. Hinata wakes up with a blush on her face. Oh, hey, thanks. That dream was awful, she yawns. Want to talk about it? We don't have to if you don't want to. Oh, you mean the dream? She takes a deep breath. Seems like she's not fully awake. Sure, I was standing outside next to Lulu under an eclipse when I heard a bell sound, and I saw a lot of fire and death. Luna was so strong and pretty. I love her so much. She kept by my side to keep me safe. I saw the full moon peering over at it. Was disgust. We flipped it off. She chuckles, and then that's when I woke up. Well, at least it doesn't sound too bad. Violet chuckles a bit too. Alias, what dream were you listening to? Hinata dozes back off. Violet smells as she heads towards the elevator. The June 20th, 2022 diary page sticks out to her like a sore thumb, maybe something that she should do research. Upon reaching the lobby, Rebecca does not seem to be there. Perhaps she's taking a break. That said, a white-cloaked individual stands in the lobby. They have Solaire Enterprises logo on the left side of their chest and seem to exude some kind of weird energy. Violet walks up to the person and says, "Good evening." The person stays silent and turns around to ignore Violet. On their back is a black circle with a white crescent moon shape on it. Violet notices the moon and mutters to herself, "Alright, I guess that's not the correct approach." Violet faces the figure again, as her eyes are changed to a deep blood red and glares at them. "Do you want to drop dead right now, or do you want to keep your miserable life intact?" The individual turns around. On closer inspection, Violet notices the person is wearing a white mask that seems to hide all facial features. Think like a Shy Guy mask. Drop dead? Look, I just want to be left alone, ma'am. Its voice is feminine. Be left alone? Then leave Hinata alone, because if you touch a hair on her head, I'll make your body a mutilated corpse for display for all Solaire to see. While she speaks, her skin seems to take on a hue of red. I wasn't even here for Lady Hinata. I have an appointment with someone else. The person sounds terrified and is shaking. Liquid drips from their cloak and splatters on the floor. Explain the logo on your back then. It has been shown repeatedly that you and your group have had bad intentions towards Hinata and Luna. Tell me, who do you have an appointment with? The person stays silent in defiance. I see. I don't think I made myself clear enough. Violet, in a quick motion, twists the person's arm behind their back and summons a knife. She points it at their back, so she knows they are at knife point. Now, would you like to say who your appointment is with, or would you like to be paralyzed for the rest of your life? I cannot, otherwise I will die. But seeing how I am either going to die or become paralyzed for life, I'll just be honest. Jan called me here. What? What do you mean Jan called you here? Jan's been a secret bad guy this whole time. And she got the prime Luna into a state where she would feel safe so that she could program her. The individual is crying now, tears dripping through the bottom of the mask. Lead me where you are meeting, now. She still keeps them at knife point. I have no idea. Miss Wright was to lead me there. It chokes out. I'm new here. You have to believe me. Violet releases them. Well then, I have all the time in the world to wait for Rebecca. Speak of the devil's name, and she shall respond. Rebecca walks out of the adjacent hallway, and she sees a very, very red Violet and Jan's 3:30 appointment. She looks terrified. Did you get a sunburned, Violet? Violet returns to her usual gray color. No, I can just change my skin color. Nothing to worry about. Crystal. What do you mean, nothing to worry about, Violet? She literally watched you threaten them. The cloak being shakes their head fearfully, as if saying, be very worried about it. Rebecca nods to the grunt. So what's all this then? I was in my room watching TV, and then I see from the corner of my eye on the surveillance system that Violet has a knife to them. Oh, right, your appointment. The grunt disappears in a flash of light after Rebecca presses a button on her console. Rebecca, take me to them. Please. For the many gods above, out there, please. I'll explain everything. Just please. Violet pleads. I cannot. Rebecca shakes her head sadly, then leans in close. They'll kill me, she whispers. Dang it, Violet sighs. Fine, but if you have anything you could tell me without getting hurt, that would be wonderful. Violet turns to leave, but then she turns back around. Please don't tell Hanaud about this. I don't want her to worry. Rebecca nods. She writes something down on a Solar Enterprises information pamphlet and gives it to Violet. Have a good day, Miss Violet. Thank you, Rebecca. Violet leaves. As soon as she makes it outside, she reads the pamphlet, which has a lot of information on Solaire. There's information on their past and current products, and in a predictably professional tone. It talks about the portal technology they developed, which led to the creation of portal bags. Basically, portal bags of holding. And then it goes into how they evolved the portals to expand it into similar products, ones they call their portable portal line of products. It appears to be entirely of Solaire's Meridian branch, as if one example of such a product as the building itself is a portable portal prototype, PPP. It also details some of Jan's philanthropy work, especially in the realm of creating food and sustainable water for their genetics efforts. Absolutely nothing about the Lunas Project, or Project H, is mentioned within the pamphlet. On the last page, in red ink, is a phrase. Avengers number 1, 1963, Hanada's office, Rebecca Sienna Wright. Sometime later, Violet heads to Twitter to ask about Avengers number 1. Hey, Hanada, can I look at your comic, specifically the Avengers first comic? Huh? I don't think I have that. Can you check, please? I cannot. Everything alright? Why can't you? I'm sorry. Certain things need to stay secret. I am aware you read through his diary. Oh, you're in trouble. I'm sorry. I just wish to help figure all this out, for the sake of all of you all. Certain things need to stay secret. I'm sorry, Violet, but that is my answer. If you could tell me who Toby truly is, then I can show you. Consider this my own mental lock. Until then, this line of questioning is over. Dang. Church of the Full Moon. Interesting. It's gonna be crazy. Chandra is gonna be at the end. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're on Moonlit Prayer, I think? 23? Yeah. 8. Can I make it through 8 more? I don't know, my voice is like, it's a short one. My voice is almost gone. Alright. Adventure Log, March 20th, 2023. Moonlit Prayer. A sizable crowd of people, all wearing white robes, are standing in front of a stage near Solaire's headquarters. They appear to be waiting for someone to present something. It's like a rock concert, except there's no music and no mosh pit, though a few are being trampled all the same. Whoever they're waiting for, it must be important. Violet walks up, looking around as she sees the white-robed people. She summons herself a green cloak to hide herself, or at least her face, as she makes her way into the crowd. The crowd is honestly rather silent. Seems they might be praying. Violet is concerned about who they might be praying to and why, and she starts making her way to the front near the stage. So when whoever they are willing to on shows, she can have a clear view. Whoever they're waiting on shows. The prayers sound like they're a completely different language, and it's impossible to understand what they're saying. That said, Violet recognizes part of it as sounding like Hinata's trigger phrase. As the group prayer finishes, a person in a black robe walks onto the stage. It's similar to the one person Solaire wore, but instead of a crescent moon, or another moon phase, it is one of the full moon. The one's supposed to be a rumor? Yeah, it's not. It's a secret thing. Violet watches the figure on stage intently to make sure they can get every detail, and as well watching everyone's moves to make sure her standing out in the crowd does not get her killed. The black-robed figure walks across the stage. As they pause in the center and turn towards the crowd, it erupts into loud cheering and applause. This goes on for a few moments before they eventually quiet down and the robed figure speaks. Dearest members of our church, we welcome you to our family. The time for dawn is past. Soon, we welcome you all to the greatest night of our lives. The crowd goes wild. Violet is noting everything down. A church? What's going to happen? Once more, the robed figure speaks. Soon our plans will fall into motion. Plans 35 years in the making. Something about Luna. Be prepared, dearest family. For soon we will enter a new night. The moon will rise. The crowd erupts into chanting. Chandra, clap, clap, clap. Chandra, clap, clap, clap. It goes on for a while. Violet writes down Chandra and connects the dots with Chandra in some ways as she listens more. The crowd quiets down once more. The robed figure seems to be scanning the crowd. When it doesn't find what it's looking for, they continue. Until then, please continue to work towards our goals. The robed figure walks off the stage as the crowd begins to disperse. Violet walks up to one of the crowd members. So what a presentation, am I right? They have a white cloak with Solaire logo on the right side. Same white mask as before. Oh, absolutely. Our leader is powerful as it is merciful. Soon the endless night will arrive and Solaire will fall. They sound weird, like completely enraptured by its words. The heroes, huh? Told you the heroes might be the bad guys. This sounds like it might be the Heroes Rebellion. But I don't know. There's like a night organization going against the day Solaire organization, sounds like. And maybe they were the ones producing the heroes, or were the heroes actually heroes? That's the thing. It's hard to know. Hard to know. Do we know who the father is? Like, their name? The person shakes their head. It is at this moment that someone in the crowd notices Violet in a green cloak. Hello. Who are you? Nice, are you new here? They sound normal. Violet turns to look at them and examine them. Hello, yes, I am new. Name's Violet. They're wearing the exact same white Solaire cloak logo, but without a mask. They have some cuts on their face, which looks like they've seen some stuff. Welcome to the church, Violet. Though I'm curious, is that cloak standard issue? I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I may do with what I have, as I lost my original cloak. Say, I'm having a hard time remembering. What's the church called again? Person looks at her in confusion. They narrow their eyes. The Church of the Full Moon? Violet nods. Thanks. Violet quickly flees away back to the forest. What? Another cloaked person walks up behind the one cursing the green cloaked Another cloaked person walks up behind the one cursing the green cloaked person's ploy. They say, "You got scammed." I love how they're so nonchalant about it. You got scammed. Can I read 7 more? I'm sorry, I really want to read the last 7, but my voice is going out. Hey, at least you heard Thor. Hey, T-Mill, how are you doing? Good to see you. That is T, right? Like the T cosplayer, my friend? I think so. Yeah, maybe it will be a lower price. I don't know. I'm going to wait on Switch 2. Yeah, the intros are kind of long. I may go ahead and just pause here at the Possessed Violet. I think that's what it's called. Boss battle. Violet and the Rhythm of the Bells. Yeah, Rhythm of the Bells. I may go ahead and stop at 24, Rhythm of the Bells. I'm going to do like a short one just to finish it off later on, because I really want to finish this series. But I am going to have to stop. My throat hurts really bad. I'm sorry. I tried. Well, how long was this stream, actually? How long have I been reading? I've been reading for 3 hours and 2 minutes, so... Or close to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back to this very, very soon. Luna, your series is awesome. I knew you did a lot of really cool a lot of really cool RP things, and you had a lot of crossover stuff back when all that was going on, but your story is really cool. And I like how you mix the cult stuff with corporate, because corporate organizations are so freaking cult. Like, I worked for a corporate organization for a long time, and like, we had a morning chant, and they put the name of the leader or the founder of the company into things that should be religious. Like, instead of saying thank God, they would say thank and then the founder's name. And they, instead of saying like another religious thing like what would Jesus do, it said what would the founder of the company do. And this is real. This was actually the company I worked at. So I love that you connected those two things, because they are so similar, and I love when people focus on that, because it's so freaking weird. Like, freaking... That culture is basically a cult, and it's insane. It is so insane. But I'm glad you mentioned that. It's so cool. Again, very good job. Thank you for joining me and answering some questions at the beginning. I really appreciate that, and hopefully you can join me for the next one. I'm going to try to do it really soon. I have to work like second shift tomorrow, so I probably won't be able to do it tomorrow. But definitely want to go ahead and finish it up this week as quickly as possible, because I don't want to stretch out. I don't have too much of a gap between parts 1 and parts 2. But before I leave, I'm going to talk about some new stuff I'm doing. One is I've scrapped some of the older stuff I'm doing, and I have started the reboot officially. First, there's a couple series I'm going to be looking into, and I will be doing kind of a dive theory thing, kind of like I did with that last Umami video. If you saw that, that's not going to be my new format, but it's going to be similar to that. Where not only am I going to be coming up with theories, but I'm also going to be discussing it at the same time. It's going to be a little less dive, a little more analysis, but I'm going to try to make it fun. I'm going to have characters pop in, I'm going to have my own characters, I'm going to have a background story going on, so there's actually going to be an ARG. Yes, there's going to be an ARG in my videos, starting with the next one, that's playing in the background of me looking into ARGs, because I just think that's really fun. Maybe you'll get some drop-ins from Blanco even. Some things are going to happen. But yes, again, we'll be coming back to the series. It's awesome. If you all haven't checked out Luna's stuff before, definitely do. All the links are in the description, and it's going to be in the pinned comment after this is no longer live. I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you. Everyone showed up. I had a really good time, and I'm not saying goodbye yet, but I'm just, thank you all. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Katie, for all you do, and thank you, Luna, for all you do. My voice is going to go out. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to get you all some garden stuff and garden videos for the second season of Tim, Jim, and Randy. It's going to be a little bit different this time. A little more compact, not a bunch of spammy videos, but more like chunks. But yeah, we're going to do that as well. More streams coming up soon. Also, I took a break because I had some real life things to work on. But we're going to come back, and I'm going to do the last episode of Five Friends, and I've got an interview with Happy and myself. Yeah, Happy and myself, we're going to be talking about some behind-the-scenes things with it, and the inspirations behind it, what it actually means, and go over some of the clues you all missed with Ara and Hootie. So that's going to be really fun. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. It's going to be different, but it's going to be a good different. For those of you who are here just for the Gorillaz stuff, I am going to still be following the news, but it's mainly going to be in the shorts. There may be a few theory videos here and there, but I'm bringing the focus back to stories I love and mysteries and art, because that's what I love. That's why I'm here. So even though Gorillaz is a piece of art that I love, I don't want that to be the #1 focus. I want it to be part of it still, but the focus is going to be on just finding great stories and sharing great stories. So I've had a lot of fun tonight. I'm sorry my voice went out. We will get back to this as soon as possible. And again, thank you all. I'll also have the stream set up normal next time. Again, I had to get a new computer, and I forgot to transfer all my stuff. And today was kind of busy, so I really didn't have time until like an hour before to work on things, so I didn't really have time to do that, but I will for next time. So again, thank you all. Actually, question, do you all prefer just my face floating and the picture, or would you rather have the border back, or would you rather have something new? Because this is the reboot, we're doing everything fresh, so what would you all prefer? Yeah, it's really good. You should definitely check it out. The links are in the description. Maybe in the next one we could like go halves on it. I mean, I could read it, but I was thinking maybe we could go halves on it. Like you could read part of them, I could read part of them, so that way my voice doesn't go out. Because I talk a lot at my job, and I talk a lot when I'm making videos, and so when the stream comes up, there's like not much of my voice left, to be honest. Yeah, I can tell it's your muse spot. I can tell you love it. And that's what I love about it. Ah, gotcha. Alright. Meta is super fun. I love it. I want to experiment with it. Alright, yep. A lot of new fun stuff coming up. Yeah, the project we're working on, I'm sorry I haven't got back with you on that, T. It's just I want to finish Hi-Fi Friends first, and then I'll come back to that. With my new life and the way things work now with my new job and everything, I can only really focus on one project at a time. I can't multitask like I used to. There's just not time or energy. So I want to finish Hi-Fi Friends first, and then we'll focus on our stuff. Luna, it's so good. Thank you for making it. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of some of the stuff later on. I really appreciate you inviting me into this cool world. Or coming into my side of it with Naomi stuff. Like the floating thing? Okay. To be honest, if you like the floaty thing with the kind of like slightly see-through opacity, I mean, we'll just do that. I mean, it's easier. I might cut back a little bit though. Cut a little bit. Let me see. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, it'd be the right side. Let's bring it to like 100. Nope, wrong. But I might cut off like, yeah, like that, just so it's not quite as blocky. Yeah, you can still see all me no matter where I'm at. Okay, yeah, that way it's a little less distracting too. But I might keep it like this if this is what y'all want. I mean, most streamers just do this anyway. I was kind of being extra with the borders and all of that. But I mainly just wanted to be able to see the whole picture, and that's why I made a border so you could like shrink it down and it wouldn't look funny. But I mean, if I'm like slightly see-through and kind of small, I mean, that should be fine. Also, I definitely want to do the game night stuff again very soon, maybe with some new games maybe. And yeah, definitely doing the Donkey Kong 64 stream. That's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna dress up as a gorilla and everything. It's gonna be great. It's mainly her website. The links is in the description, and again, it'll be in the pinned comment once it's no longer live. Yeah, the Discord. I need to put the Discord in there too. Definitely join the Discord. You can actually interact with them there. Yeah, you can get it from NeoCities too. Yeah, but I'll also put it in the description after we're done. Yeah, you definitely want to see the ending to Hi-Fi Friends. It's going to be something else. It's a banger. And I did decide to do the dangerous route, if you know what I'm talking about. Some of you do, some of you don't. But unless I do like a friendly cut and put that on GPReeds, on the actual Happy channel, the finale is going to be the rough cut. Not rough as in rough as in like explicit. Yeah, definitely. Everyone join. Alright, see you, Flux. I'll see you all. I'm about to head out. I was just seeing you out real quick. Get some last minute chats in before my voice actually goes up. That's funny. well, there'll be a lot more interaction with Naomi from Access. That's another part of the reboot, so get ready for that. You've been getting some clues on Twitter. If you've been following the Twitter, there's a few little tiny clues. There's a lot about to go down. A lot. We're going to be starting that weekly or bi-weekly Naomi RP, and it's going to be crazy. I love how I'm just like, I don't know, the fact that I've reinstated as a Blanco makes me feel comfortable about talking about Naomi things now. So. Say, Katie! Katie, no, you don't need to do that. You're too nice. I do appreciate it, though. I'm still, even though I've got a better job, I'm still broke, so I appreciate you. Thank you, Katie. It does mean a lot. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Hi, Fire Friends! Thank you. Alright, well, appreciate you all. I really do. And I will see you all later. Have a great night. But until next time, as